Well, Dak, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of planet Earth, the internet, in parts some might call unknown. It is time for episode 19 of season 5 of the House Divided podcast. This time on a Friday because I can't schedule things properly. This is all my fault, not Jordan.
We've all been there.
Yeah, it's happened a time or two.
The podcast has been delayed because of me for many times.
What's even worse though is, hi everybody. I last week said, since we had gotten through the holidays, this show would be on Wednesday. And I then then me not knowing how to schedule things properly happened. Oops. Oops.
Lord.
Oh well.
You know,
can't win them all.
Like I said, it happens.
You know, like I said, we've done so good this year up until the holidays that the fact that we made it. Let's see. We made it until Christmas, the Christmas episode, so which would have been what, episode 17?
That sounds accurate. Yes.
Oh, we made it 17 episodes. I mean, I know episode 1 was done on a Friday night, but we made it 17 episodes on schedule.
On time.
And episode 1, the very first episode of the season that we didn't even have an actual set start day.
I was going to say, we didn't really have a schedule.
No, we didn't have a schedule for that. We just wanted to do it before week 1 of the college football season.
And that we did.
And we did. So this past 3 weeks of holidays, I'm not too really upset about. Hopefully next week I don't. I mean the holidays we both had stuff going on. Hopefully next week nothing happens. We will be back on Wednesday hopefully. But for now, let's roll into the show with Stupid People Say Stupid Things. Jordan,
Oh,
do you
boy.
want to go with your stupid people of the week first, or you want me to? I have 5.
I'll get through this. I have 3. I'll
Okay.
get through mine first.
Fair.
A story we will touch upon in the news is the railing at FedEx Field collapsing, and
Oh no, I have one too from the same story.
fans almost fell on Jalen Hurts,
Yep.
which could have been very, very terrible. And everyone seemed like, even, because Washington football fans, they know that their team, they're hardest on their team and their organization, harder on their team, like, more than anyone else.
Yeah.
So, it was a pretty unified, like, oh wow, this is really bad. And then comes Daniel from Facebook, who is a Washington football fan.
Okay, this is not mine. Thank God.
Daniel says, I can't wait for these fans to go to prison over destruction of property.
Huh? It's bad when the first one is making me take a sip of my beer.
Like what?
You know what we need to bring back? Beer of the week.
I don't usually drink beer during the show anymore.
Oh, that's awkward. Adult beverage
Well,
of the week.
Yeah, that's a given. But
I'd say the only reason I have beer this week is because it's what I had in my house. Otherwise, it probably would have been.
Quick side note: I have yet to find Cold Snap, and I'm getting very upset.
Oh no!
We need that. But moving on. I know you saw this, but for anyone listening, if you didn't see this,
When does Sam Adams make his cold snap? I just Googled it, by the way.
Very tail. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's usually tail end of December.
I
think the official release on the Sam Adams website, I think, said January. I think it runs January to March, but
I am over 21.
I've always seen it earlier. Are you sure?
I think. Go ahead and continue, by the way.
Oh, yeah. So, like I said, I don't know if everyone's seen this. The Minnesota Vikings put out what is the weirdest hype video thing you've ever seen, with graphics that look like they belong on a bowling alley screen after a gutter ball. Of this cheese head thing that got melted by I don't know. I can't describe it. Just go watch it for yourself if you haven't seen it. But in comes Charlie on Twitter. He says, and your fan base wonders why they never win. It starts internally, and the social media team is doing nothing to help this team. Yeah, because the social media interns are the ones that have anything to do with winning. Come on. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Come on now. And then go ahead.
I'm just what?
Baffled.
Yeah.
This next one isn't much better. In fact, it might be worse. I don't know.
This article right. This is saying January 17th.
Okay. All right. I will just have to be patient for the next 10 days.
You and me both.
I love Cold Snap so much.
I have noticed, side note, it has been a little bit more difficult to find now that Neiman's is gone.
I never had a problem finding it at Meijer.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Like, obviously, like, you go to Jimmy's. Like,
yeah.
Jimmy's has everything under the sun.
Yeah, that is true.
My final one This was on a video of Ronald Acuna Jr. Taking batting practice finally. Because he was hurt, missed the entire World Series run.
Yep.
John from Facebook says Braves should get rid of Acuna and sign Jock Peterson. This dude didn't even help the Braves win the World Series. Jock carried the whole team. Ronald Acuna Jr. is a top 5 player in all of baseball. And he's still so young. It broke me too.
I'm broken.
I can't, man. These people. How can these people have such shitty opinions?
I'm Ron Burgundy. Here, no, let's start.
Loser.
There.
First name bunch of numbers having their shitty opinions. It happens.
Okay, my five stupid people of the week since the podcast last week. My first one this happened on Sunday, from Ohio State reporter Ross Fulton.
Oh boy.
Tweeted, I think Ohio State fans insufficiently appreciate how big of a mistake it was by Urban Meyer choosing Dwayne Haskins over Joe Burrow.
Oh, you told me about this one.
So I'm going to go out and say this first. I can't remember where Ross Fulton writes for. Let me hold that thought. Ross Fulton writes for BuckeyeScoop.com. Something I have never heard of.
Me neither. I mean, that's not really surprising, but
and I don't actually follow Ross Fulton. I don't know how this appeared on my Twitter timeline. But some of the stuff that he does tweet, like, makes sense. He tweets some good stuff. And then he just all I'm going to say, in 2018, Dwayne Haskins was a Heisman finalist.
Yep.
Joe Burrow was not great.
Not good.
If Ohio State's defense wasn't one of the worst defenses in Ohio State football history in 2018, Ohio State wouldn't have just won the Rose Bowl. They would have won the national title, most likely. Ohio State in 2018 had the, if I remember correctly, the 100 and something ranked defense, like 106th ranked defense in the country, which
not good.
Statistically worse than this year's defense. But this year's defense was just bad. Like, let's move on from Ross. That's all I gotta say about this.
Hold on, I do have a quick one that I forgot because it wasn't a tweet or anything.
Yeah.
Somebody called into 97.1 and talked to Mike Valeni and Rico Beard and said that the reason that Michigan can't compete with the big dogs of college football is because of their acceptance rate, and said that he would rather it be a more prestigious academic university than win a football title, and then tried to say that Obama's daughter going there was like the Super Bowl for him. Yeah.
Loser.
Yeah. That clip's on YouTube if anyone wants to see it. Made Mike Valeni throw a chair.
I want to throw my chair, but I'm not going to. All I did was press the button about what was this guy's name?
I don't remember.
Well,
but he calls into the show a lot.
I'm going to
say it
assume
on the video.
I'm going to assume his internet usernames are first name, last name, bunch of numbers.
Quite possibly. And then somebody, when I commented, I was like, man, some people make it so hard being Michigan fans. Like, I understand why people hate us when you got people like this guy. And then somebody came along and said that it was a Spartan fan acting as a Wolverine fan. That Michigan fans can't possibly be that dumb.
I don't know. I have said in the past that Ohio State has a lot of stupid fans. And it could just be because, like, for whatever reason, I get, and it very well could just be because I live here in Michigan. I do see on Twitter and on Facebook a lot of things recommended about Michigan football.
Right.
And not even just Michigan football, Michigan State football. I think Michigan fans are pretty, yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
There is a reason that they are one of the most hated fan bases.
Makes sense.
Let's move on though. This second one comes from Marcus Hayes. His Twitter handle is Inkstained Wretch. Yes. Marcus Hayes is a writer for the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Okay.
His tweet was his first Baseball Hall of Fame ballot that he got to cast.
Okay.
His tweet was, I'm steroid neutral, anti-DH, anti-reliever. Here's his ballot. Bobby Abreu, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Todd Helton, Jeff Kent, Manny Ramirez, Alex Rodriguez, Scott Rollins, Jimmy Rollins, Sammy Sosa. Leaving off some players. Prince Fielder.
I mean, Prince Fielder's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
No. Ryan Howard, Torrey Hunter, Carl Crawford.
Oh, come on.
Tim Lincecum, Andrew Jones, David Ortiz.
Come on, man.
David Ortiz.
You can't leave off Big Papi for any reason.
Jonathan Papelbon, Jake Peavy, Andy Pettit, Gary Sheffield.
Oh, come on.
For Scott Rowland and Jimmy Rollins.
Oh, Scott Rowland, yeah.
Scott Rowland, I mean, yeah. Because of the Twitter screenshot, or, well, the picture this guy took not being great, the E looked like an N.
Fair
Scott
enough.
Rowland, thank you.
I was like, who's Scott Rowland?
No, yeah, struggling because this guy did not take a phenomenal picture.
Fair.
Like, you're leaving off David Ortiz
God.
and Gary Sheffield.
Come on.
Tim Lincecum.
I mean,
Tim Lincecum powered the San Francisco Giants.
yeah.
Those years that they won the fucking World Series.
I don't know if I would have put him first, like, because I would imagine this is his
first time.
first.
And he is
year
not
on the
a first ballot. Tim Lincecum is not
No.
first ballot Hall of Famer.
David
But
Ortiz is.
David Ortiz is this might be the only guy who doesn't vote for David Ortiz.
Yeah, I don't understand. I get, he was a DH, whatever.
But you go and say, "Oh, I'm anti-DH and anti-reliever," two extremely integral parts of the game. First off, I do hope the National League adopts the DH because I'm fucking tired of seeing pitchers hit. It's not exciting. It's
yeah,
not.
outside of maybe Jacob deGrom, yeah, it's and
Mad
occasionally
Bum.
Clayton Kershaw, Madison Bumgarner, yeah, those guys. But man, the vast majority of these pitchers can't hit.
Like, I don't like seeing bunts get laid down. I don't care if it's a part of the game. It's not fun.
Never bunt, hit dingers.
It slows the fucking game down because half of these pitchers anymore can't even lay down a proper fucking bunt.
I remember Justin Verlander was like 0 for 20 something to start his career. He didn't play obviously in the National League ever. So it took literally until one of his last years with the Tigers to get his first hit.
Yeah. I do remember
Huge
that
rip.
being a thing. Another one on here that I forgot to mention, and this one just could very well be because I am slightly biased because of who he played for.
Okay.
Omar Vizquel
Yeah, I love me some Omar Vizquel.
was not
Yeah,
voted for.
He should be, I think. I would put Omar Vizquel over Scott Rowland for sure.
Yeah, I think this is Vizquel's.
He's been out of the game a little while, so I can't imagine it's his first.
No, it is not.
Yeah, I mean, because he was...
Because he's been
He
out
was the,
since 2013, I believe.
Yeah, he was a coach for the Tigers for a couple years.
Yeah, he's been out
We
since
loved him
13.
here.
I loved him when he played for
When-
Cleveland.
When Ron Gardenhire was retiring, I wanted Omar Vizquel to be the new manager, but I'm
Yeah.
very happy so far with AJ Hinch.
People like this guy, and I said it a few years ago when there was a singular person that did not vote for Ken Griffey Jr. Like,
Yeah, that's... Come on.
there's like David Ortiz. This individual right here, Marcus Hayes, might be the only person who doesn't vote for David Ortiz.
Didn't that happen with
Rivera
Derek
too.
Jeter? Or was it Rivera or Jeter?
One of the two.
That was... Well, yeah, one of those guys was unanimous except for one vote.
Yeah, Ken Griffey Jr. unanimous except for one vote, and all of
That's
those people.
ridiculous.
Like, I hope these are the kind of people that just need to lose their goddamn privilege
There's
to vote.
way too many baseball Hall of Fame voters. It's ridiculous.
Like, there are
And
certain
they're
people.
all so old.
I will say this Marcus Hayes guy looks rather young. I shouldn't say rather
really?
young. He looks like he's in his maybe late 40s at his youngest.
Really, you don't usually see the younger people have those incredibly shitty opinions about baseball.
But like, there are certain people who just need to lose it, and this could be one of those guys. I think if David Ortiz is not a first ballot Hall of Famer, everyone who didn't vote for him needs to lose their privilege.
For real.
But let's move on. This comes from the world of Facebook in a Facebook group that I'm in, dedicated to AFC North teams.
Oh, okay.
The post was by a person who their name on Facebook is Izzy. Might be short for something. Who knows? He posts, if you need a pick six to beat the Rams, your team is garbage. You shouldn't be allowed to run back interceptions. Go Steelers.
What?
Now, this could be just a guy trolling. I hope it
Hope
is.
to God it is.
But it is like the stupidest thing I have seen. One of the stupidest things I have seen in a long time. Just even in just like
God.
trolling attempts, it's just so fucking stupid. We're not gonna spend a lot of time on that one just because,
That's unbelievable.
yeah. Okay. My last two, and then we'll get into stupid person of 2021. Mine is also about the incident with the railing at the Washington football team field. I don't even know what it's called anymore.
FedEx Field.
FedEx Field. Thank you. This is from Twitter user. Window isn't open.
Interesting choice for a username.
His username should be Brain Isn't Open, because his brain was not
Brain
open for
isn't-
business.
Brain isn't operational.
The barrier fell, and this was actually of Jalen Hurts writing a letter to the Washington football team.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The barrier fell. It was an accident. What is Jalen Hurts trying to accomplish here? Obviously, nobody.
Oh no, there's more.
Yeah, obviously, people don't want barriers to collapse. But what the fans were doing is part of the experience. Are you gonna outlaw fans trying to get high fives?
Don't think that's the problem here.
That's...
Jalen wants. I guess we could just cover this part of it now. Jalen wants to know what they're going to do with the stadium itself to make sure that doesn't happen again.
That way the railing does not fall onto his head, or fans don't fall onto his head.
Yeah. Did you see how they fixed it?
With zip ties.
Yeah. I mean, I get that that's probably not permanent, but if it's like, why? Why even bother putting it back up if you're just gonna have to like weld it on there again or get a new railing? Why put it back up there with zip ties?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
That was at the end of the game.
Yeah. And I don't think they have a home game this week.
Might not.
They don't. And they're eliminated from the playoffs, so why are they...
Oh no. Like, why? Zip ties, man. Zip ties are incredibly useful. They should not be used to hold up a barrier.
Yeah. And my final one.
Terrible.
Because we had a show get postponed, this was a late entry. And by late, I mean 7:30 this morning. But late-ish entry.
Okay.
Jordan, I've shown you this one.
Oh no.
We've said the term first name, last name, bunch of numbers here today a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Fittingly, this person's Twitter handle is his first name, Rick, his last initial, which is an R, and then, let's see. 8 numbers following it. First name, last name, bunch of numbers.
Pretty much.
He replied to College Football on Fox.
All right.
The post in question from College Football on Fox was a graphic that they posted with all of the New Year's 6 bowl game MVPs. With the caption / question in the tweet of which player had the best performance in their bowl game. Important here.
Okay.
Important here. The phrase bowl game.
Bowl game. A bowl game.
Bowl game.
Postseason bowl games.
Yes. Rick R replies with, Aiden Hutchinson. You forgot him. Remember the game against Ohio State? Doesn't that still count?
Oh boy, oh boy.
And I did go to Rick's Facebook or Twitter profile.
Oh no.
He is actually a Michigan fan. He's not some just guy trying to troll.
So clearly misunderstood. He misunderstood the assignment on that one.
He did.
God.
And
Aiden Hutchinson in all of Michigan. Oh boy.
Aiden Hutchinson did not do a lot against Georgia.
No.
I mean, Michigan's defense did not do a lot against Georgia.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll talk about that game shortly.
That fucking tackle. Oh, I have some opinions on that tackle.
All I'm gonna say is they weren't calling holding either way.
No, but man, some of those were egregious. And every time every time Aiden was lined up against him, he was false starting. Every time.
But Rick,
Killed me.
you kind of
We
missed the
lose
boat.
anyway, but God. Yeah, no, that's pretty bad. Aiden Hutchinson, yeah, great game against Ohio State, but that's not really a bowl game.
No. And he got drugged through the mud too. And I shouldn't say really drugged through the mud. Like a bunch of people replied to him, "Hey, it says bowl game," and he just didn't seem to get it. Moving on to our stupid person of the calendar year 2021.
Oh man,
Jordan, who you got?
I mean, it can't be anybody else but Mr. Large Elephants, right? It has to be Horace.
I have one who is worse.
It'd be a disservice to Horace, really.
That is true.
If I didn't put him in here, and I think he would appreciate that a lot. So, gotta be Horace, man.
That would be true. I did not go with Horace. I went with a person, though, who was featured in this show back in October. In this same segment.
I might know who it is.
Very possible. It is none other than Nick Adams.
Oh.
Who did you think?
Nope. RJ Young.
He was a close second. He was a close second.
He was almost mine.
Would have been fitting if it wasn't for Nick Adams. Who is Nick Adams, you might ask? He is a best-selling author endorsed by President Donald Trump. He is the founder and president of One Flag USA.
Okay.
He is a presidential appointee of I don't know what. It just says presidential appointee.
Appointee of being important.
Australian by birth, American by choice. That is his Twitter profile.
What?
That is his Twitter bio.
God.
Here is what Mr. Nick Adams tweeted that made him on this segment. Richard Sherman was charged with 5 misdemeanors, including resisting arrest and a DUI. Now he is starting for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tim Tebow is a national champion Heisman-winning quarterback / tight end who is also a devout Christian, and the NFL has blackballed him. Boycott the NFL.
I forgot about that.
I'm not done.
Oh, no.
I'm not done. Because he had a second follow-up tweet.
No. Of course he did. Because when you're digging your own grave, you got to make sure you go 6 feet.
I stand by everything I've previously said about Tim Tebow and Richard Sherman. The NFL lifts up anti-American criminals and tears down patriotic Christians.
Hey, doofus. Tim Tebow's not good.
I'm going to say this right now. It is very well documented that I love me some Timmy Tebow.
Florida Tim Tebow and professional Tim Tebow are 2 very different things.
Yes, I loved them both, though.
I mean, yeah, fair enough.
I love Tim Tebow.
He did win a playoff game.
Yeah, he did. I loved me some Tim Tebow. It's very, very well known. In fact, for 6 episodes of Backdoor Cover before the holidays, there was a Tim Tebow jersey up.
Yep.
I loved me some Tim Tebow. But there's a reason Tim Tebow's not in the NFL. He's just.
It's certainly not because the NFL has some anti-Christian agenda.
Yeah, Tim Tebow just isn't good enough. And it hurts me to say that. But
He
he's
isn't
not.
good enough anymore.
Yeah, he's not.
He was for a short time.
So, Nick Adams, you, sir, are the stupidest person of 2021 in my perspective, and you, sir, are a
Loser.
You're not a loser,
Loser.
Horace.
Horace, you're
Like-
you're golden. You're stay golden. You provide hours of entertainment.
God, I see. I tweeted at him. I was like, "Man, I had hoped to see your Crimson Tide in the national championship game. Wasn't meant to be, but you're a legend." Oh,
Did
man.
you really want the smoke that Horace would bring to Michigan?
Yeah, I was looking forward to that. I would have gone back and forth with Horace a little bit.
Oh my God! Let's move on to the news.
What a fucking news week it is.
Yeah.
We are starting off with the big news that happened over the NFL weekend in a very strange weekend in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Odell Beckham punching a guy's ass.
Jalen
we had
Ramsey
enough-
punching a teammate.
Yeah, Jalen Ramsey punching a teammate.
The Rams
railing
Rams
incident-
players threw some punches this week.
The railing incident that we saw. We had an immaculate reception. Taylor Decker caught a touchdown pass.
The Bengals beat the Chiefs somehow.
Good lord. But the weirdest of the NFL weekend did come in the form of Antonio Brown in a story that will not go away anytime soon.
No.
It is here to stay for a little while. In the third quarter, as the Bucks were losing to the New York Football Jets, Antonio Brown stripped on the sideline, took his shoulder pads off, took his jersey off, chucked them near the stands, ripped off his shirt, took off his gloves, threw those into the stands, walked through the end zone, because, I mean, hey, it's the quickest way to get to the tunnel.
Yeah.
Why go all the way around?
Yeah.
I saw somebody calling for they wanted a penalty on that. Because the Bucks were in the huddle at
Oh,
the other end of the
Jesus.
field. And yeah, just flashed a peace sign and said, "I'm out." It's the weirdest thing, the craziest thing I've ever seen any specific player do.
Yeah, I can't think of anything even
mean-
close to this level.
We all thought, who was that? Vontae Davis that retired at halftime for the Bills.
Yeah.
But hey, he did that in the locker room.
Yeah.
Or when the Ohio State player that did it earlier
Tavion
this
Pope
year.
did it.
Yeah. We thought those were insane. Antonio Brown, man, this is crazy. So then everyone, was obviously wondering what led to this. So the initial rumor was that the Buccaneers had benched him, and he was very, very close to earning $1 million if he caught a couple more passes, got some yards, scored one touchdown. He would have had the chance to earn 3 different bonuses, which would have totaled $1 million.
Yes.
And while that probably does happen in the NFL, I could imagine seeing that happen. Was not the case here. So then, the report came out that he was refusing to go into the game because he was he said he was injured. Arians had asked him to go into the game. He refused. Arians said, "Get out of here," and he did.
Yeah.
Like, what? What in the world?
Do you want to finish this last little bit up and
Yeah, I mean, so obviously then, after the game, Bruce Arians just says he's no longer a Buck. Um, that's was rather redundant, I think, at that point.
He
But,
has been formally released.
he has been now. In the notes,
Yes.
I had it as he hadn't been, but these were written on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So yes, he was formally released today. So obviously he could not fly back to Tampa on the team plane. So what does he do? There was this hilarious picture of him outside the stadium that I didn't even believe was real,
Yeah.
waiting for a driver to pick him up. It was like Antonio Brown's waiting for his Uber, and then I saw the New York Jets flags in the background. I'm like, oh my god, it really is. That was hilarious. And then he was picked up by the personal driver of Saquon Barkley, Kenny Galladay, and others, who is on Instagram under the name Danny Boy Hustle Hard. Interesting name.
When I saw you saw this part in the notes, I thought it was a typo.
No, that is actually his Instagram name, because he posted a video with Antonio Brown in his car.
I see.
After the game, he's on social media acting like nothing happened. He released a song, and then sat courtside at the Brooklyn Nets game. As far as we know, he's still in New York.
Also, another possible thing to add into this story, just to make this even more bizarre.
Oh, is this what you showed me earlier?
Apparently, Antonio Brown was smuggling women into team hotels during road trips,
which is not allowed even pre-COVID.
Yeah. I'm sure it's happened before, but just...
Right, like Pat McAfee was saying, I gotta get that Pat reference in there. He was saying that, like, when we were in the team hotels, even before all the COVID stuff, like, there were cops at both ends of the hallways of where our team is staying, and, like, wild, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, of course, this woman has now tested positive for COVID.
Yeah, that's where I was about to go with this. She went on Instagram, and apparently she was the same lady who started the viral TikTok challenge, the COVID challenge, in which she licked a airplane toilet last year.
TikTok so much, man.
I am not on TikTok, but that's just what Twitter told me.
I believe I have an account, but I do not use it.
That's more than I have.
I think I have 2 followers.
Oh, solid.
My mom and somebody random.
Solid. So, yeah. Anything else to add to this real quick? I have a few parting things to say about this before we
I just can't believe it. This story is only going to get crazier. Antonio Brown put out this long statement that thankfully Pat McAfee read for me because I was not going to read it myself.
I have not seen it. I've seen it. I have not read it.
Essentially, it's him saying that Bruce Arians knew he was hurt, and was trying to force him to play anyway. The injury stuff, he don't look hurt, and he ran a route in this game that was like chef's kiss good. Like, you ain't doing that if your knee's blown out.
Yeah. I've seen people. I did slightly lie to you yesterday. I've seen one person who was on a torn ACL, and she did run. Because, I mean, once it's torn, it's torn. It's not going to be... you can't make it worse.
I guess.
You can do things on it. It's not smart. But, again, you can't make it worse.
There's no way he runs that route with a torn ACL. There's no way.
Yeah. Or... I don't know what his knee injury... the extent of his knee injury is.
The explosiveness of those cuts, you can't do that if there's something wrong with your knee. There's no way. That route was, I mean, if you haven't seen it, for anybody listening, go and watch that. It's unbelievable.
Trying to see what it's gonna tell me. Trying to think, because I saw he was apparently going to have surgery soon on something. I can't remember what it was.
That is what he said. We'll see. We'll see if it happens.
Yeah.
What does it feel like to sell your car to Carvana?
Get this ad out.
I mean, and
here.
obviously they knew he was injured at some point because he was, before the suspension for the fake vaccination card, he was hurt.
Yeah.
So obviously they knew about it. Everyone knew about it. But there ain't no way he's hurt that badly anymore. There's no possible way.
This is all I'm gonna say on this. Antonio Brown needs to get some form of help.
Yeah.
Like, and I already have my chump of the week lined up. I'm just gonna say it now. All of those people on social media making jokes about head injuries. Fuck you guys.
To joke about. Ain't nothing to joke about.
Fuck you guys. This is not a joking matter. I have
He's
dealt with it myself, never to an extent this bad. Never. But
right, you're not showing signs of CTE
yet.
Yet.
I'm sure with the amount of concussions I have, it's only a matter of time.
I mean, Antonio Brown's brain is going to be one of the most sought after for scientific purposes for research on this stuff, because good lord.
But like, this is just, he needs to get some form of help before something extremely bad happens.
Yeah, like I'm certain with the amount of people that have been around him, you know, I'm sure Tom Brady has attempted to be like, hey, you really need to get yourself straightened out to the best of your ability. And I don't think right now he wants to. And that's the problem.
So I'm going to say that, I'm going to say exactly what I said to you last night. I think right now he is just so far gone. And one of the things that a lot of people don't necessarily know about with post-concussion syndrome, and I don't really have a better term for it, but the after effects is you deal with a form of depression, of near manic depression.
Yeah, for sure.
I think right now Antonio Brown is so far gone that he doesn't know what he wants or needs. And honestly, he might not be able to tell his ass from a hole in the ground right now.
Another note about the statement that he released. There is no chance he wrote that himself.
No.
It is so grammatically correct. Like, that is it, one of his lawyers wrote that for him.
100%.
There is no chance. Because, like, then, of course, because he releases these text messages with him and Bruce Arians, you know, supposedly proving that Bruce knew about this injury. And, like, everything's misspelled. There's no punctuation. And then you expect us to believe that he's, like, writing, like, perfect paragraphs, spelling everything correctly? Come on.
Yeah, like, all I gotta say on this is somebody needs to literally grab him by the arm and walk him into a doctor's office.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think he's so far gone right now. And he intends to try and play again. And someone will sign him.
I don't know.
Someone will sign him.
I mean, it's just gonna get worse. Like,
it is. That's the scary thing.
Every place he's gone has left in a ridiculous manner. You look at Pittsburgh, where he bowed out, asked for a trade because of like not being named the team MVP or something. Then there was the Raiders and all of that disaster.
Lasted for like 4 days.
He got frostbite because of some cryotherapy treatment.
Yeah.
And then threatened to retire because the NFL was going to make him wear a different helmet.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he gets traded again, plays in New England for one game. The sexual assault stuff happens. and then now this, man. It's crazy. Like wherever he goes next, if he is on an NFL roster again, like that's why I don't think anyone's gonna touch him because
Someone will. Like, there's a team that they just don't care because he's gonna.
I guess the Jags are that dysfunctional that they do it, but
The Jags.
I can't.
I
mean, even the Lions aren't that dumb.
The Lions won't. The Jags.
Lions have never been into the guys where you kind of have questions about their character.
Yeah.
Look at Titus Young.
Like the Jags, definitely. I could see Houston.
I don't even know about Houston because I mean they're dealing with the Deshaun Watson stuff right now. You think they want to do that again?
I think right now anything they can get to get people in the seats, yes. The Jets,
by the way, Deshaun Watson's in Detroit right now for some reason.
Oh.
And of course, there's some Lions fans that are like, "Let's get this guy." No.
No.
It's same with Antonio Brown. I wouldn't touch him.
The Jets, 100%. I could see the Jets or the Giants both.
I mean, shit. He might still be in New York.
Yeah. I think the Jags are 100% up there, though. It's like they would be the first team to go after him.
But then you got this stuff with him saying, like, you know, I play the game to play in Super Bowls, not toilet bowls, I believe I saw him saying.
Yeah.
So, like, man, oh, man.
No high-profile team is going to want him.
Mike Tomlin should be coach of the year for the rest of time for dealing with that for 8 years, although it wasn't always as bad.
No. Thanks, Vontez. Perfect.
Vontez Perfect scrambled his eggs.
So that's all I really gotta say is it scares me that he wants to play again. Somebody needs to grab him by the arm and drag him into a doctor's office and like get this man help.
Right. And then, you know, there's so many layers to this, but I'll stop bringing them up after this one. But then, you know, there's all this Alex Guerrero stuff. You know, the personal trainer for Brady and everything is like apparently works magic, but he's been, you know, in some controversies in the past. And then Antonio's like trying to drag him through the mud and like this state. He apparently wasn't getting the sessions that he had paid for, and tried to, you know, shame Guerrero for the whole thing. And then I thought Guerrero actually handled it pretty well because Antonio texted him and was like, I need to, you know, get half of that money back that I paid you. And Guerrero's just like, all right.
Yeah.
Sorry you're not satisfied. Where do you want me to send it?
Yeah.
Like, I don't see anything that Guerrero did wrong in that at all.
No. Alrighty, though.
He handled that as best as anybody could. But yes, let's move on.
Yep.
We could do an entire show on this thing.
Yeah. Alrighty. Let's move on. We already touched on it a little bit. The railing at FedEx Field collapsed. Fans damn near fell onto Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts, not James Hurts.
Is that what? It probably autocorrected.
It did. This is the second example this season of FedEx Field itself, not the owners. Fuck you, Dan Snyder. Fuck Dan Snyder.
Fuck Dan Snyder.
Of the stadium itself being just a complete fucking shithole. Back in September, a pipe burst and it leaked raw sewage. Well, according to everybody except the Washington football team, onto the fans.
Yeah,
the Washington football team.
The people in the video said it. They just go, "Whoa, that's sewage, man." I'm gonna trust them because they were there and it was happening over the football team that said it was stagnant rainwater from rainwater storage.
Yeah. I don't trust the Washington football team.
No, they don't handle anything right.
Why do you have a rainwater storage? Like, what are you doing?
What
with
are
it?
they? What? I don't know. I'm sure it's a common thing, but it sounds ridiculous.
It does. And it might be something semi-common.
And I mean, you can just look at the people.
Actually, I can see what you would do with a rainwater storage. You could possibly try and repurpose it and flip it back into your irrigation system.
I guess. Yeah, actually, that makes sense.
But I don't. That would also be expensive, and I don't see Dan Snyder doing something like that.
No, not to that shithole of FedEx Field. No.
No.
Yeah, no, and you can just see in that video the disgust of the fans when it's happening. They're like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's insane." But this railing thing, man. I mean, hey, props to Jalen Hurts for being calm under pressure, man. He sidestepped. He showed great reaction time there.
Yeah.
Sidestepping the massive humanity tumbling down towards him, and then props to the dude for sticking around and taking selfies with the people.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I mean,
But
God damn it. Everything. You want to talk about a team that's dysfunctional?
right,
Washington's up there right now. And it's not even like.
The Giants and the Jags. Man, they're terrible, and they got a load of problems. But good God, the football team literally does nothing right. At this same game,
And it's Dan Snyder's fault.
this same game, Ryan Kerrigan, who played for the football team for a long time, came back he plays for the Eagles now.
Yep.
Made his return to the stadium, and they couldn't even be bothered to put up a 5-second picture on the video board for him at all. And of course, that outraged the fans, and then they posted a tweet a day later.
Yeah.
Like they don't do anything right.
And it could just go back to everything they did. Like, you have the flack that Dan Snyder was catching because of the Gruden emails. And that same week that Gruden got fired, they then turn around, well, the following weekend, because Gruden got fired on a Monday, resigned, but let's be honest, he got fired.
He didn't have a choice.
That following Sunday, 6 days later, they did their Lawrence Taylor,
Sean Taylor.
or Sean Taylor, thank you, sorry. Sean Taylor,
Jersey, the number
retirement. Thank you, Jersey retirement.
To distract the fans of the noise around because that wasn't pre-planned. There's no chance now.
I couldn't remember if that was Ring of Honor or Jersey retirement. Thank you.
It's so hard to keep up with what team does what, but same thing pretty much.
Basically.
Since his number was on the field, I would assume Jersey retirement.
Yeah.
But God,
and they screwed that up even because they were playing the Kansas City Chiefs that weekend, and they let fucking Jackson Mahomes, and they placed the entire Kansas City Chiefs VIP group right there on top of that. Right there, right in that spot.
Ridiculous. You have a whole sideline. Why?
Why is that logo not on your team's sideline? Why is that on the away sideline first off?
I would imagine there was one on their sideline as well. But how do you put VIPs there? Why? We're not even done with the football team here, man.
No.
Because they're not going to be the football team much longer.
Assumingly. Possibly.
Well, right. So they've announced that on February 2nd, they will reveal their new name, their new identity. Their incompetent team president, Jason Wright.
Very incompetent.
Just as responsible in all of this, crap as Dan Snyder is, has announced that it will not be the names that were really popular with the fan base on social media, which was Red Wolves or by association Wolves. And the reasoning is because they said they didn't want to jump through the legal hurdles those names could present. I'm curious, what? Are Minnesota Timberwolves going to sue them?
Maybe.
What? What is this? The potential finalists were, other than the Red Wolves, the Presidents, terrible. The Brigade, terrible. The Red Hogs, what? The Commanders, the Defenders, the football team was still an option,
Yeah.
and the Armada, which I kind of liked, but it really didn't fit them. And the two that have kind of leaked out as probables, and I've even seen one that I think Commanders is going to be the one. Commanders, or yeah, it's Washington Commanders. There's a leak out there somewhere with basically the current football team logo, but with some red lines running through it. It's really strange, but it doesn't matter. I honestly wish they continue to be the football team.
At this point, yeah.
I kind of like it.
I don't like it, but I agree. At this point, just fucking stay with it. It's fitting for how just inept they are.
Actually, I want them to build up all this hype for the new name, and then just have them be the Washington Football Club. That's what I want.
Fuck. Yeah. Apparently, trademarks held by, and this is from Jason Wright, who is extremely inept,
Just a moron.
incompetent, inept, terrible at everything he does. I would say at least everything involving the football team.
Mm-hmm.
Trademarks held by other teams will limit our ability to make the name our own.
Huh. Very
Well,
interesting.
here's the full sentence. Once we began looking into wolves, however, we became aware of a notable challenge. Trademarks held by other teams would limit our ability to make the name our own, and without wolves, variations like red wolves wouldn't have been viable either for these reasons.
Huh. If people ain't even gonna buy stuff with the new name on it anyway,
No.
because they hate Dan Snyder so much. Or people are still. So you have two crowds. You have the crowds that really, they are excited just to end all of this and just know what their team is going to be called.
Yep.
And then you have the other crowd that is just going to be like, well, I'm still going to call them the previous name.
Also, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen plenty of that on.
All I'm going to say about this. It took Cleveland, the Cleveland Indians, now Cleveland Guardians, 1 season.
I'm just so.
Why is this
why they
drug
didn't-
on for almost 3 years, Washington?
I'm interested to know why they didn't follow, and I get that Cleveland did it afterwards, but why they just didn't do what Cleveland did and say, hey, we are changing the name, we'll get there, and when we get there, we'll let you know. Why were they even the football team in the first place? Just say, hey, we're changing the name, we got to work on it.
Also, secondly, February 2nd, yes, it's Groundhog Day. It falls on a Wednesday. Why are you picking a Wednesday?
I just love that it's like the week before the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl's the 13th, but a
Yeah.
week and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, like right in there.
So I know
They
now.
just
I know
had
why,
to-
because that week is that week of the 31st, Monday the 31st through the 5th / the 6th technically is Pro Bowl week. So no one cares. No one's gonna be paying attention to NFL because no one fucking cares about the Pro Bowl or any of that.
Nope.
But again, I go back to it just shows how fucking comically inept and incompetent the Washington football team is. They pick the most irrelevant week in football on the most irrelevant day of a football week. You picked a Wednesday.
That's literally the day that no football gets played usually.
Yeah.
Except maybe some action.
And even better, they're probably going to announce this at like 9 a.m.
Probably.
They're going to announce it at some irrelevant ass time to try and be the spotlight. And I hope it backfires. I fucking hope it backfires.
There are the crowd, like I mentioned, that they're still gonna call them, the old name, the bad name. I'm still gonna call them the football team. I'm gonna start saying that.
I'm gonna call them what I called them for a long time while they were the Redskins.
Potato skins.
The Washington Red Potato Skins.
I think that they really missed out on a great opportunity, a great meme opportunity, by not adopting that name.
Well, Dan Snyder probably doesn't even know what a meme is.
No, probably not.
Dan Snyder, you know how I said Antonio Brown probably does not know the difference between his ass and a hole in the ground right now?
Mm-hmm.
Dan Snyder's probably never known that.
He's just an idiotic ass. Dude. Massive ass.
He confirmed. It has been confirmed here what everyone has known. Dan Snyder is a massive ass.
Yep.
Let's move on. Ken Rosenthal has been fired from the MLB network, but he will continue to work for The Athletic as well as MLB on Fox.
Which is hilarious.
Which is comical. The MLB network. MLB Network said in a statement, the MLB Network continues to look at fresh ways to bring baseball to our viewers, there's a natural turnover in our talent roster that takes place each year.
Bullshit. I don't know if you heard, but I made a hand fart noise.
I did not. This is some massive bullshit. It has been widely, I was having a mini stroke there, widely believed that this decision is coming after Rosenthal's criticism of MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred in an Athletic article that he wrote back in June of 2020.
Yeah.
After that piece he wrote, Ken Rosenthal, who I do believe is actually solid at his job.
Oh, he's great.
He's phenomenal at his job. And I can't even say solid because that's doing a disservice to him. He's great. Phenomenal.
Very rarely screws something up.
Yeah. He, after the piece, he saw a heavy decrease in his role with the network, and then, well, he has been fired.
I can't believe that this has happened. I really can't. Like,
I gotta look at one thing real quick.
That article that he wrote for The Athletic was so, if Manfred's really pissed about that criticism, he might not want to log on to Twitter then, because Rosenthal didn't even go that hard on him.
No.
It was he basically just said what everyone else is thinking in a pretty. I thought he could have gone in harder, but he did not. Rob Manfred just continues to be the most hated man in baseball, and probably the most, I get that hating commissioners is, the popular thing to do. I think Adam Silver's pretty good. Gary Bettman is hit or miss.
Adam Silver's good.
Yeah, Adam Silver's phenomenal. He's done great things with the NBA, which is saying a lot, because the NBA isn't really that big for me. But
same.
Yeah, Roger Goodell, he's just kind of there, does some shady stuff every now and then.
Very stupid shit at points.
But then Rob Manfred hasn't done anything right. How is he still the commissioner?
Because there's nobody else.
I had to see if my official Major League Baseball was a Bud Selig ball or a Manfred ball. It's a Rob Manfred ball. Fuck. Ass.
Yeah.
Throw this thing away now.
Right.
$20 down the drain.
All I'm gonna say about this,
Alrighty.
the MLB Network continues to employ one of the most boring men in sportscasting, Robert Flores.
Yeah, Flores is pretty bad. It's absolute bullshit. Because no, there really isn't a turnover of roster talent. Like they released Chris Rose, who's great.
Yeah.
A little bit ago. But like everyone else is like still like, John Heyman still there. He's ancient.
Forgot about him.
Like, so what they've released, I think 3 people notable in the last couple of years. I think within the last year, and that's Rosenthal, Chris Rose, who's phenomenal, and Sean Casey. Like, there's no turnover of roster talent.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
They fired 2 guys who were phenomenal at their job. And then
and then Sean Casey.
And then Sean Casey. Who I didn't hate. I forgot about him.
You can't hate the mayor.
Yeah.
The guy's hilarious at times, but
I just, like I said, I kind of forgot about him.
Yeah, and then it's just such a load of bullshit. Like, people always say this. This is my last thought on this. People always say that, who's the most overpaid player in baseball? Who's the most overpaid person in baseball? And they name a player. It's Rob Manfred.
Yeah.
Like $11 million a year for being terrible.
Again, MLB Network continues to employ one of the most generic and boring guys in sportscasting in Robert Flores, who thankfully was replaced on SportsCenter by the phenomenal John Buccigross, by the way.
You love me some Bucci.
I do too.
Bucci Main.
Robert Flores, who he's not bad at his job. I'm not trying to take shots at him. He's just bland and generic. And I know he works for NHL Network too as a studio host also, but he's just like the most bland studio guy. And that's not a bad thing. He's safe. He's not gonna really screw too many things up.
Wait. I need to look something up before we move on from this topic.
Oh God.
Because they might employ somebody worse.
I wouldn't be shocked if they do, but
They do. I was looking for one specific name. He still works there.
oh God, who is it?
You weren't ready.
Oh.
Adnan Burke. I told you.
Well, he was with DAZN now or something, like irrelevant.
He is there too. He's at DAZN as well.
God, I forgot Adnan Burke was the...
God.
Never mind. I take everything I said about Robert Flores back. He's bland. He's bland, which again, bland isn't like the end of the world in sportscasting. Bland is not the end of the world in sportscasting.
I mean, look, some of the greatest broadcasters of all time were rather bland. Keith Jackson, Pat Summerall.
Yeah. But you have honestly, one of the worst guys in all of sportcasting. Or sports anchoring.
Whenever we do a top 10 favorite and least favorite announcers again, I think we can safely tell who's going to make the list for the first time.
Adnan Burke.
Mm-hmm. The WWE commentary. It's back in my brain.
Sorry.
So bad. Oh, he was so bad at his job. He was there for a month or two.
6 weeks. Because I have the Wikipedia page open. I can't even call like Robert Flores and Adnan Burke sportcasters. They're anchors. They're studio anchors.
Not play-by-play guys, WWE.
They're studio anchors, and they're two like Andy Verk is one of the worst studio anchors ever. Who he's been successful, so good for him.
He's insufferable.
But you have Robert Flores, who is still employed by MLB Network, who's just he's not bad, but he's not good. He's just bland and exists, and he's still employed too.
Cover here, guys. Cover here.
Fuck.
God, Andy Verk, I hate that.
Let's move on. This is all you. This last piece is all you.
Yeah, well, yes, because as we note, every time a NASCAR topic comes up, you are not a NASCAR guy.
Sometimes I leave the room for a minute and a half.
But
Not always.
Since this came up in my Chump of the Week last week, we have to do an update on it. And that is NASCAR denying the LGB coin, the Let's Go Brandon coin cryptocurrency sponsor for Brandon Built Motorsports. And this, of course, blew up NASCAR Twitter. Had everyone... well, NASCAR Twitter blows itself up on a regular basis, but this... I mean, it's all over the place. You can't avoid this. And of course, like, this brings up so many more questions. Because, first off, everyone's like, man, what, like, that sucks for Brandon Brown. And then we're like, okay, let's move into why this happened. What actually happened is that they were told, Brandon Built Motorsports was told in November that any Let's Go Brandon related sponsorship would not be accepted.
Okay.
Back in November. They didn't get this sponsor until December. They get the sponsor, and on the application for it, which oddly enough, one of the shareholders of this cryptocurrency tweeted out, and it really doesn't help his point. I don't understand why he did it. Tweets out the application, and under sponsor, where you're supposed to tell NASCAR what it's all about, it just says they are a cryptocurrency. And then posts the link to it. So this is on both them for doing it and NASCAR for not doing the due diligence to approve it, or when they were approving it, because they did actually approve it, but it's because they didn't even research it. Because literally one click on the website would have told you all you need to know. They didn't see that when they just saw the link at lgbcoin.io. They just didn't bother. And so now we got this whole mess. But I think this is exactly what they were looking for. The publicity from it, to literally just make themselves, they're making themselves victims. If you knew ahead of time that they weren't going to accept this sponsorship and it wasn't going to be okay, and I fully trust Jeff Gluck, who was a person that reported that they were told back in November. Jeff Gluck rarely ever misses. He's like Ken Rosenthal, but NASCAR. If you knew this and you did it anyway, can't help you. Not even a sliver of sympathy for you. Like, it's just ridiculous. This isn't going away. That same shareholder in the LGB coin said he's going to sue NASCAR. I don't think he's got any ground to do so. It won't go anywhere. I mean, it's literally just making a victim out of yourselves. If you know. And of course, like, they weren't going to get paid anyway.
No.
Like, maybe this was the idea. Like, get their name out there. Some conservative company might sponsor them now, and it might be okay. But the word is, NASCAR is going to ban all political sponsorships here in the coming weeks.
Good.
Not just conservative stuff. They're going to ban. I mean, there really isn't much liberal sponsorship in NASCAR. I really can't find any.
I mean, there isn't. But
I mean, and do not give me. I know you won't, but nobody give me the Black Lives Matter card, because that is not even political. Don't even go there. And that wasn't even a sponsor. That was an unsponsored race for Bubba Wallace, and they put that on the car of their own free will. They didn't get sponsored.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, no, I want no part of this. And the funny thing is that those same people that are upset about this and it not being accepted are the people who in 2020 were screaming, keep politics out of NASCAR. It's ridiculously and hilariously ironic.
Yeah.
You can't make it up.
No.
Like they are so mad, and then NASCAR really shoved it in the conservative space the other day. I mean, I don't want to make this too, this ain't a political show, so we won't go too deep into it. But they, of course, this isn't political either, but it's made political by a certain group of people. They announced some partnership with the, I believe, Charlotte Chamber of Commerce for some sort of donations for like the LGBTQ. Whatever, and they just shoved it in their face.
Good for NASCAR.
I mean, they've had their I Am NASCAR program, and it's, oh my god, I could have put this person, stupid people say stupid things, but I forgot. There was a guy that said, I'm not watching NASCAR anymore because of this I Am NASCAR campaign. Of course, it's got like the rainbow, the pride flag and everything all over it. He says, I'm going to go watch F1 now. And I just told the guys, like, I got a bit of bad news.
I got some bad news for you, buddy.
Because they literally have the what is their hashtag? We races everyone or something like that.
We races one.
We races one, yeah.
I got some bad news.
Bad news for you, buddy. Oh my lord!
I hate to tell you. I mean, I don't hate to tell you.
Oh, I love to tell him. I Googled that logo as soon as I could.
Yeah.
But let's speed through these other two here. These are a little bit less notable. Sort of. Matt DiBenedetto does find a ride for next year. The piece of garbage that he is. He will race in the Truck Series with Rackley WAR. I don't know. They have no wins. They have no poles. Dude, look at their stats throughout their time in NASCAR. It's all zeros. Other than starts, they've started some races. But that's where Matt DiBenedetto has landed. We'll see what he can do, man. It's a backmarker team. He's been an unremarkable driver throughout all of his career. He's never won a race in NASCAR's top 3 divisions. So, I mean, I don't think that's changing here. Maybe Daytona or Talladega, where it's, anybody can get it done. And he's been up front in those races before, but yeah, we'll see how that goes for him. And then an update on the first silly season update that I did, because Jacques Villeneuve actually is still involved with Team Hesseberg or whatever it is. And he will be testing at Daytona next week, as will pretty much every team.
Yeah,
and attempt to make the Daytona 500. So good for Jacques Villeneuve. I hope he gets in. A report from Bob Pockrass today said that he's expecting somewhere between 40 and 43 cars for the Daytona 500. I really do hope we get more than 40. Make the dual races, the qualifying races, useful.
Yeah.
And have it be, because otherwise duels just kind of suck. But yeah, no. Hopefully we can get more than 43 cars. I get that it's probably a little bit difficult because this is the first year and the first race with the new next gen car, but we shall see.
All I'm gonna say, good for Jacques Villeneuve.
I like Jacques Villeneuve.
And for DiBenedetto, I
mean, good luck to him, I guess, man.
Yeah, I very, 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 very rarely ever will wish failure on someone.
Yeah, I don't want the guy to fail by any means. I just don't think
he is not a good human being.
I know, but he's just not a talented driver.
And I mean, I hope he can do something with this and have, resurrect a career so he's not becoming a fucking IKEA salesman.
I mean, where 10. I mean, I expected him to be in the Truck Series. I really didn't expect him to be with a team like this. Because DiBenedetto brings zero funding. He has he's never been a guy who you could say is a pay driver. He's not. He doesn't bring in money. He's had that problem his whole career. So of course he lands with a team that they've always sponsored themselves for the most part. I don't think they care if their team is good. They just want to be out there and have their name on it. It's literally just like paying for very expensive advertising for this team.
Yeah,
is how I look at them.
Like I said, I'm not gonna wish him failure.
I don't want the guy to fail. I don't wish him failure. I just don't think he will succeed.
I do agree with that. So I mean, good for him. He at least he has a job.
Right.
After the stupidity that happened with him at the end of the season. Let's move on though.
Yeah.
And also Jacques Villeneuve. I love that man.
Love me some Jacques Villeneuve.
Phenomenal car driver.
Has not. It was curious to me why he was racing Daytona because he's not the full-time driver for that car.
Yeah.
I don't remember who the other one is, but I feel like, we got plenty of road courses on the schedule these days. I feel like Jacques would be a smarter choice for those, but maybe they got some ovals, squeezed in there.
It's hard to say.
For Jacques Villeneuve. I don't know.
At 50 years old, because
he's up there.
He's going to turn 51 this April.
And of course, God, man. Who was I gotta find the video.
Like I said, I do like Jacques. He's done some endurance stuff. He obviously was a very good Formula One driver. He had the one world championship with Williams back in '97. That was before.
It wasn't Jacques Villeneuve. It wasn't Jacques Villeneuve. I forgot. It was another road course ringer that raced in the Xfinity Series back in the day. And I think it was Max Pappas. And some girlfriend of a driver that Max pissed off slapped him in the face. I thought that was Jacques Villeneuve, but it was not.
No. No, so I do hope Jacques is able to succeed. Or find something.
See. Brand new team down there. Who the hell knows what to expect from them? Hard to say. But, it is Daytona, so literally anybody can be competitive there.
Yeah.
Outside of maybe Derek Cope.
Fair.
But thank God he's retired. Hey, props to Derek Cope, man. Whatever the circumstances was, he did win a Daytona 500 back in the day. Might have taken Dale Earnhardt having a mechanical failure in turn 3 on the final lap, but he won one.
Yeah, still was in position to take advantage of it. Let's move on to the college football, the second to last college football recap of season 5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sad because I love me some college football.
And this is gonna be a long one.
We're gonna speed through this as much as possible. Yeah. I think we only have 2 games we really want to talk about.
Yeah, the 2 that everyone would be expecting. And a little bit of Michigan State maybe.
Maryland beat Virginia Tech in the Pinstripe Bowl 54-10. Ouch.
Yeah. I did not see that coming.
Did I skip No, I did. I did not. We're good. In the Cheez-It Bowl, Dabo Swinney beat Iowa State 20-13. Dabo Swinney got a
can you call it a Cheez-It bath?
He got a bunch of Cheez-Its dumped on his head.
That he did. I can't imagine that those were the aspirations that he had at the start of the season, but
no,
that indeed happened.
In the Alamo Bowl,
Cheez-It Bowl champions.
I can't pick of a more fitting way for this Clemson season to end, other than them being ranked number 11 in the final poll. Please, Associated Press, do something right once. Do something for me one time, Associated Press, and somehow
Make it happen, no
get
matter how
Clemson
right
to
or wrong
11.
it is.
'Cause it would be so fitting. Fuck you, Dabo
God.
Sweeney. I fucking hate you. The Alamo Bowl, big game. Bob Stoops leads Oklahoma to a win. 47-32 over the Oregon Ducks, who their end of their season was
Wow.
not good.
I can't. That it makes it made no sense back when it happened. It makes even less sense now. How did that team beat Ohio State? Even when Ohio State hadn't even gotten their groove yet. Like, ow. That Oregon team, man.
They did not
Not
have a good
good.
time.
Side note on this game, I feel like the bowl game patches for the Alamo Bowl get more ridiculously huge every year. Oregon's was practically on their shoulder.
I know, it's so bad.
It wrapped around to like the side of the
So-
shoulder pad.
So obnoxious.
I mean, Oklahoma. So because of the weird placement on the of the Nike logo on those Oregon jerseys, it's a little bit higher up, a little bit closer to the shoulder. So they had to put it above that, and it's literally like on the top of the like. Just do what Michigan would do back in the day and put it actually on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Do that.
Just so odd. Moving on
It's ridiculous looking.
to the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Hell yeah.
In South Carolina, beat Mac Brown's team, and what happened to be the most disgusting thing. I gotta find his name.
I
Head
would never.
coach Shane Beamer. Head coach.
Duke's Mayo said that they would donate $1,000 to the charity of the choosing of the head coach who would do this. I would never.
Shane Beamer, head coach of the South Carolina Gamecocks, got a bucket of mayo dumped on his head, and
Sorry, dropped on his head. They donked him in the head with a bucket.
yeah, I can't even say dunked.
God.
Yeah,
They hit him in the head with a bucket.
and then
they
dumped
got
the mayo on,
dumped
and then dumped the mayo on his head.
God. I get that bucket's probably heavy, but God, get some, get like some players to do it.
Get some strong
Some
guys to
strong-
do it, not two
some
random
strong-
dudes that you just pulled off the fucking street.
I don't even know if they were men.
I don't know.
I don't know, but like, if it's fucking,
I
laugh
I
so
can't
hard.
remember.
Like, a mayo bath is like bad enough, but then like getting a concussion from a bucket.
Getting hit at the base of the skull. Yeah.
Come on, figure it out.
I just hope that's something that never happens again, because just watching it was disgusting. Let's move on.
I like mayo, but that's terrible, man. It's the most disgusting thing. Like, at least the Nickelodeon NFL playoff game, or the MVP of the week or whatever, gets slimed. That's a thing that I would do. I'm not getting mayonnaise dumped all over me, especially after I won. What kind of
Yeah.
what kind of gift is that? Oh, hey, you won the game. Oh, great. Here's a mayo bath.
Yeah. Ugh. The Music City Bowl, Purdue beat Tennessee in a wild one. 48-45.
I had zero intentions of watching this game.
It was so fun.
No, I didn't have it on at the start, and then Twitter's exploding about this game. They're like, none of this makes sense. This game is insane.
So because of this game,
shouldn't care this much.
because of this game, this is why I was late to the podcast last week.
That's a very fair thing
Because this game was like,
to delay the podcast for.
in all seriousness, if you guys can, if anyone listening to this can find this anywhere, go back and watch this game, because it was just like, in a very meaningless game, in a home game that it was a home game for Tennessee, basically. I believe this game was played in Nashville. It was. So this was basically a home game for the Tennessee Volunteers. This game was just fun.
Let's see if it can find it on YouTube.
I'm sure you can find it somewhere.
The whole game is on YouTube.
There you go. Go watch it. This game was fun. That's all I got.
Somehow hasn't been taken down. It's been up 7 days.
I mean, this game was on ESPN, so I'm sure you'll be able to find it somewhere on ESPN's.
I mean, right now you can find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
As of recording, so I might watch it again.
Yeah. Moving on, the Peach Bowl. Pittsburgh got up big. Michigan State had zero identity.
I get that this is the House Divided podcast and not the backdoor cover. This featured a brutal bad beat.
Oh God.
The interception at the end.
Oh yeah.
By Cal Holiday.
Yeah.
MSU. If you had Pitt, I think they were plus 3.5.
Minus 3.5.
It actually flipped at one point.
Oh.
I don't remember if it flipped one way to the other. I think they were plus 3.5 because they were losing and you were good. Then you weren't.
Huh. I mean, I guess when we picked this game, when this game was thrown in our picks, and this may have just happened before it was announced that Kenny Pickett wasn't going to play.
Well, and those pick'em games, they don't change spread. It's not live spread. So
yeah.
Michigan State had opened at minus 3.5.
Plus 3.5.
Were they?
Yep. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, they opened at plus 3.5, and they were minus 3.5 by kickoff.
Okay. Michigan State, and just an ugly game. This game was just ugly. Michigan State won 31-21.
They really missed Kenneth Walker in this one. They were down for the majority of this game, and
I mean, they didn't even really like. I mean, they did miss Kenneth Walker because they just had no identity.
Yeah, no, because Kenneth Walker has been their identity. Like, if Kenneth Walker wasn't the star that he was, Michigan State wouldn't have had the season that they did.
Like,
so,
but missing Kenneth Walker wasn't even what made this game ugly. Like, you also don't have Kenny Pickett. You have what's this guy's name? Davis Beville. Who?
No idea.
That's who I. Yeah.
They better hope they have something better lined up.
And this guy had
year,
I was watching this game during the podcast. I had this game on during the podcast. This guy had the athletic ability and just awareness of a garbage can.
Office chair.
Office chairs have wheels. I don't know if I could even give him that.
It was not good. I'll tell you that. It was not good.
It was just so bad. And the Michigan State defense is they need to do something about that. It's just so bad.
So this wasn't quite newsworthy because neither one of us are Michigan State fans. Did you see Xavier Anderson's post about coming back next year?
No.
It was the best player in the Michigan State secondary, which isn't saying a lot, but he's pretty solid.
I mean, they do have the worst pass defense in the country.
I know, but he's the best part of the worst pass defense in the country.
Fair.
He's just posted something of Spartan Nation. Appreciate you guys so much. Blah blah blah. I don't have enough to say to put it on a big old picture and have the athletic department post it, but I'll be back next year.
I mean, good for him. Because he knows he probably isn't going to get taken.
No, I wouldn't imagine that he would. But I mean, the guy can play if he improves. I could see him being a pick next year.
Yeah,
not a high one, but
let's keep rolling. The Las Vegas Bowl.
That was one of the only games that I actually wanted to talk about.
The Las Vegas Bowl. Wisconsin beat Arizona State 20-13.
Man,
I didn't watch this game because it was on 11 o'clock at night after the Music City Bowl and the Peach Bowl, which I both watched. And again, it was on.
game ended at like 2 in the morning.
Yeah, which is another reason I just didn't even bother turning it on.
I didn't want any part of it. It was a bad beat in this game also, but not a notable one.
Yeah.
Not as notable of a beat the Peach Bowl one. God.
Let's move on to the Gator Bowl. Wake Forest ended up playing Rutgers instead of Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
Wake Forest beat Rutgers 38-10. Stupid Rutgers did not have a good day. Some of this can be attributed to they found out they were playing Wake Forest 6 days beforehand.
I don't even think it can. I expected this game to be like 60-3. Like, they had a better Rutgers had a better day than I thought they'd have.
They did, but just like there's nothing like you find out all of these guys were away for holiday break. All of these players were away for holiday break because they didn't think they were going to be playing. Then they find out 6 days before this game that, oh, hey, you got to play Wake Forest.
Right, yeah, they didn't know. They thought their season was over. You guarantee they aren't preparing for that.
Rutgers was not a good team. They had a good season this year, 5-7.
For Rutgers, yeah.
They showed improvement.
Good to see.
There's just nothing
Rutgers
you can do in a game like this.
Rutgers has been kind of the butt of a lot of jokes in the Big Ten for a long time, and they showed improvement. Shiano had the boys buzzing this year, I think, a little bit, so we'll see what he can do.
There's just nothing you can do in a game like that. You shouldn't be playing Wake Forest.
I mean, I'm sure they were glad they were there.
Oh, yeah.
Because I bet, and especially, I'm sure the university got paid.
Oh, God, yeah. Let's move on. The Cotton Bowl Classic. Alabama, Cincinnati, college football playoff game, numero uno. This game was a little bit tighter than I expected.
Thanks for coming, Cincinnati.
Alabama covered the 13.5 point spread.
Too much ire for me, but yes.
Handily covered it, I should say, at 21. But it took a 10-point fourth quarter to do it.
I was so excited because I did have Cincinnati plus the 13.5 in the picks.
Yep.
I was looking to be in a good spot, and then, yeah.
Cincinnati's I'm going to say this.
Occurred.
Cincinnati's defense held their own most of the game.
Yeah. I think we got to give Cincinnati credit for sure.
Cincinnati's offense horrible. Atrocious.
Yes, but the Alabama defense I think is a big reason why. I mean, their offense wasn't good to begin with, but going up against the Alabama defense.
Oh no, I do definitely agree.
It's just a different animal.
I agree.
And I think if we get in this situation again, I don't think Cincinnati's performance is going to keep the committee of keeping Group of 5 schools out. I just don't see that happening. I think it's probably the best case scenario for them. They were in a game. It was close for a little while, and
they didn't get bludgeoned like Notre Dame did last year.
Ooh, well, like Notre Dame does every time they're in the playoffs, but yeah. It's good for Cincinnati. I and aren't they? They're moving to a different conference, are they not?
A couple years. They're moving to the Big 12 in a couple years.
Yeah,
like I said, Cincinnati. Was Alabama ever in danger of losing this game? No.
No. You knew that on the first drive. You probably knew it beforehand, before the game even started. But
on Alabama's first drive, they held the ball for 5 minutes and scored a touchdown.
They did everything they could have wanted to do on that first drive. Like, you were watching that, and there were literally people, what I just said, thanks for coming, Cincinnati.
Yeah.
They were saying that after that first drive, man. It was that apparent that they just couldn't hang. But they hung solidly. I mean,
with Mercari, you can easily...
Like you said, at least they aren't Notre Dame.
Yeah, and I'm not even saying, you look at Alabama's other scoring plays, their other 2 touchdowns. They had a 50-yard pass to go up 17-3, and then they did have a short 9-yard pass where the drive did go 70 yards in about 5 minutes. Like, Alabama had two drives that were long sustained.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
A lot of it was quick hit and stuff.
Yes, the drive in which they scored their 50-yard touchdown. Yes, that drive ended up going a whole 94 yards. But Alabama had the ball for less than 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Cincinnati, like, Alabama, get this fucking ad off of my goddamn screen.
Oops.
I'm trying to read stats, goddammit. Fucking Christ, ESPN. Like, Alabama did not... I mean, they had control of this game. They were never in danger of losing it, as I've said.
Nah.
But they didn't just run away like I thought they were. I thought Alabama... I picked Alabama to cover at the minus 13.5.
You did. It's too many points for me.
And I thought Alabama was going to run away with this. I thought Alabama was going to win by 30.
I wanted to believe in Cincinnati.
Let's move on to the next one, even though you probably don't want to.
Oh, God. Is it really the next one?
Yep.
Ah.
The Orange Bowl. College football playoff game numero dos in Miami, Hard Rock Stadium.
I knew I hated that stadium.
Crown jewel, kind of, not really, of Florida. I'm talking about Miami. I'm not talking about Hard Rock Stadium, no.
That dump.
Hard Rock Stadium with those weird spires that serve no purpose other than just have lights.
Literally, I never realized this before, but Hard Rock Stadium looks like Space Mountain at Disney. Yeah, with the white and the spires and everything, it makes no sense.
The number 3 Georgia Bulldogs, who were a 7.5 point favorite, taking on the number 2. I guess you're not gonna say Michigan Wolverines, so I'm going to.
I didn't know you were leaving that for me.
I was the number 2 Michigan Wolverines.
I thought Discord broke.
No, nope. I was leaving that up for you to say, and well, that was awkward.
I literally looked at Discord. I'm like, what's going on here? Yeah,
62% of the people picked the Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah, I was one of those 62%, man.
I was not.
Obviously. I mean, what? Am I going to pick Georgia as a favorite? Come on.
The final score, 34-11.
Yep. Yeah, that happened.
And I'm just gonna, before I let you take the floor here, because I will.
Okay.
Everything that I said that Michigan needed to do to beat this defense,
Hell no.
they didn't do.
Nope.
This is that Georgia defense is a defense you have to attack, and well, they didn't really do that.
Nope.
And then they turned the ball over 3 times.
Yeah.
They made the Michigan or the Georgia offense look competent.
Yeah.
Take the floor. Final score, by the way, for anyone: Georgia 34, Michigan 11. If I did not say that.
Yeah, this game, man. It was rather apparent early that it wasn't gonna happen. Michigan was not gonna win this game. The Georgia offense actually did a really good job in showing some things that they really didn't do throughout the season. They really did a good job of mixing it up.
Stetson Bennett.
And yeah, that's fucking Bennett. They just controlled the game right from the very start, and this game just shows how different of a level that Georgia and Alabama are on. Like, Michigan looked like that at points throughout the season. You look at the Ohio State game and you're like, yeah, they can do this. I mean, the defense is phenomenal. And then you get to this game, and it was so apparent early that Georgia was just on that different level. And
Yeah.
Now with all the Harbaugh rumors going around about him leaving for the NFL, which I do not believe.
I do not either.
But
We didn't talk about that in the news, but which we don't really need to.
now, I mean, we can bring it up a little bit here. I don't think he's leaving.
He has no reason to after the best season he's had at Michigan.
No. And like after this season, the majority of Michigan fans wouldn't want him to leave. There's a few out there that still want him fired. But that's just not going to happen. But I think it was very apparent in the play that I do believe that Jim is trying to make, and to have the university open up to the idea of the NIL, because they're really not. Like,
Oh, of course they're not. It's all Michigan. And this isn't. I'm gonna just interrupt you for 1 second.
Go ahead.
This is another reason why a significant majority of college football fans do not like the Michigan Wolverines fan base, and just the Michigan Wolverines in general, not even just the fans. Michigan is the second richest program in all of college football. Their athletic program is, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Only behind Texas. And if you look at it, a shit ton of people also hate Texas.
I mean, everyone hates Texas.
Except Texas fans. And
Some Texas fans hate Texas too.
yeah. And there's a reason that that all of these old super rich dudes are not open to the idea of NIL, and that means they might have to pay these young men.
I mean, I'm starting to think that there's a strong possibility that Harbaugh will leave, if the university doesn't open up to the idea.
I can agree with that because
I don't know if it happens this year, but I think that because Raiders, come on, that's the place that Jim Harbaugh is going to leave Michigan to go to. The Raiders.
I mean, out of everything that I've heard, it would make the most sense because it's a team that's at least competent right now.
Are they?
Semi-competent. They might make a playoff game. They might make the playoffs.
Yeah, somehow.
If they can beat the Chargers.
Is it the... We're getting so off topic here, but I have to bring this up. I saw that if the Jags beat the Colts, which won't happen, it's just not going to happen. But if they did, then the Raiders and Chargers could tie and both make the playoffs. So they could literally just take a knee on every play.
But the Steelers have to lose.
I don't remember that being a
Yep.
part of that. It could be.
Actually, no. You're right. Because
Yeah.
if the Colts lose and someone in the Raiders Chargers game does win, the Steelers make it.
Right.
That would
Yeah.
be honestly super hilarious if they both just chose to tie. They get to
Right.
overtime
They won't
and just
do that,
choose
but it would be
tie.
hilarious. No, I don't have a lot more to say about the Michigan game. I mean, we were just outmatched in every single possible way, and it was apparent from the time that game kicked off till the end. The big thing that I took away from this game was we saw the future with J.J. McCarthy, and while his stat line didn't blow you away, I was at least glad to see him get some playing time, throw a
mean,
touchdown.
K. McNamara's stat line didn't blow you away either.
Okay, well, that
Hello? Jordan? This is awkward.
Not.
Oh, hey,
Huh.
you're alive.
Oh, did I die for a second?
Somebody did.
No.
No, Cade
No,
McNamara's didn't blow you away either. 11 for 19, 106 yards,
Yeah.
2 interceptions, QBR 41.
And that's incredible because that literally, I think Cade had 4 interceptions entering the game, and he threw half of that in this one. In a little over a half of football. And that just goes to show you how good the Georgia defense really was.
Yeah.
I mean, Cade's not brilliant by any means, but
One of the worst quarterbacks in the Big Ten.
I don't know about that.
I said one of the worst. He's not the worst.
I mean, Taylor Martinez. I mean, he was in the Big Ten, not anymore. Taylor Martinez.
Taylor Martinez did things. He just
I mean, Cade did some things.
couldn't win game. He would do something stupid at the end of the game.
Talia Tagovailoa.
Yes, is worse than Cade McNamara, I would say.
Whoever the hell, Brandon Peters. Cade's just kind of middle. Like there's way worse. But yeah, no. A lot of losses for Michigan in this game. Or after this game, going into next season. Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson's not going to be there. Hassan Haskins isn't going to be there. Chris Hinton declared for the draft for whatever reason.
I was talking to someone who is a Michigan fan, a friend of mine who's a Michigan fan, that this is next year could be rough for Michigan because they're going to get very young. Because a lot of the juniors that are draft eligible, like this is the class to go. This is the draft to go in because this is a very weak draft class.
Right, but like Chris Hinton was invisible. Like he could have been the guy on that defensive line next year, and he's just like, nope, see ya.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what didn't make sense to me.
Except this is the draft class to go.
I guess.
It sucks, but this is
enough. But
this is the draft class to go. Georgia's lowest win probability the entire game, by the way. Want to take a guess?
77.4.
No. 67.4%.
Okay.
So you were 10 off. Exactly 10 off, actually.
That's interesting.
Do you know when it was?
The lowest all game?
Yeah.
Probably a kickoff.
Yep. Jake Moody's
I mean,
kickoff.
Because Georgia marched down the field on their opening drive and went up 7-0. So yeah, it had to be.
Yep.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, gonna be interesting. Just glad we got to see some sustained JJ McCarthy, and I think that he can really, really improve in the offseason. If he knows he's the guy, don't let it be an open competition, Jim.
See, I got a couple things to say about this. First, I mean, Michigan. The best thing for Michigan right now is they got to see JJ McCarthy at the end of that game.
Mm-hmm.
Sustained, and secondly, this is gonna be towards Georgia. I said even though Alabama was never fully in danger of losing, they were never 100% in control of their game. Georgia had full control of this game.
Yeah.
Full.
Right from the start.
And I was over watching this game at a friend's house on New Year's Eve, and said friend wanted Georgia to run the score up on Michigan.
I mean, why?
Georgia probably could, because not a Michigan fan.
Oh.
I wasn't with Michigan fan. I was with one Michigan fan, and that person left at halftime.
Is this the friend that I'm thinking it is?
Most likely.
A very jacked man.
Yes.
Okay.
I just turned and looked at him. I was like, Georgia doesn't do that.
Well, what do they have to prove
Yeah.
at that point? Like,
I mean, they don't.
you've really only run up the score on somebody when they've just blatantly disrespected you in some way, shape, or form before the game, and Michigan didn't really do that. So
I am gonna go and say though, if Georgia wanted to, they probably could have.
oh, for sure. I mean, we didn't have any chance of stopping them.
That's
And no
that's
chance
all
of
I
even
was.
had-
That's all I was going. Where I was going with that is, I feel like if Georgia wanted to score 50, they
Sure, oh yeah,
probably could have.
yeah.
Looking at
But as
16
soon as-
points.
as
50
soon
may have
as-
been a little out of reach, but 48.
As soon as Michigan had put JJ McCarthy in, I mean, they know that they've got it.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally the sign of resignation right there.
Yeah. And yeah. Let's move on.
I mean, one last note on this. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
go ahead.
like, it sounds shitty, but like, still a good season. Michigan did things that people said they couldn't do, which is great to see. I don't know what's going to go on next year. That's a problem we can have in season 6. But for
Yeah.
right now,
I guess I'm gonna add one. I am gonna throw one thing into this. Like,
yeah,
Ohio State wouldn't have beat Georgia either. Nobody was beating Georgia. Georgia is just, I think, with just how Georgia came out and played, Georgia was just destined to win this game. We were destined to have Alabama, Georgia again. Like,
again,
the gods just said it was going to happen.
Georgia's 0 for their last 4, but let's see it again.
Like, Georgia had, like, this Georgia defense is one of the best defenses I have ever seen in my lifetime.
Yeah, we will see if Georgia can flip the script on Alabama, but that's something for the picks.
Like, nobody was going to beat Georgia. And, like, you could take Michigan out and throw anybody other than Alabama in this game.
Yep.
And Georgia would probably beat them 100 out of 100.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, Alabama and Georgia are just on a completely different level.
Especially this year.
Than anybody in college football this year.
Yeah. Let's move on, though.
Just the way it is. Yeah,
Yep.
now we can get back to the speed run.
Yep. The Outback Bowl, Arkansas beat Penn State, I'm sorry, 24-10. Anything? Nothing. Okay.
Nope.
Number 9, Oklahoma State beat Notre Dame 37-35. It looked grim for the Cowboys, but then they held Notre Dame to 7 points in the second half and outscored them a lot to 7 in the second half. Oklahoma State wins 37-35.
Man. Notre Dame, man.
They're bad.
They
just fell apart.
I won't say they're bad. They're a top 25 team, but
I mean, at the end of the day, this is what happens when you play teams that Notre Dame plays. I don't have anything else to say. I wanted to go quickly through this, but like,
but you can't skip over just Notre Dame's ineptitude, man.
like, especially postseason ineptitude. When you're playing teams like Florida State wasn't good this year. Toledo.
Nope.
They struggled with Purdue. They struggled for 3/4 of the game against Wisconsin. They lost to Cincinnati. They beat Virginia Tech by 3. Virginia Tech, who finished the season 6-7, and they fired their head coach, and they lost to Maryland.
A lot. They lost to Maryland by a lot.
Yeah. Like, Virginia Tech, not good. USC isn't good. Where is this ad coming from?
Food is love. So when she moved in with us, a new kitchen became.
Where the hell is this ad coming from?
Dealing with what are you on mobile right now?
ESPN,
Like the website or the app?
the website. Makes it
I don't
even
remember
worse.
I don't remember if this is with you on the podcast or with family at Christmas, but like I was scrolling through ESPN and this ad kept popping up for no reason. I was just trying to scroll through the app and it just kept popping up.
USC, not good. North Carolina, they were not good. Or at least as good as everyone thought they were going to be. They finished 6-7 and lost in the Mayo Bowl.
Hey, big time aspirations.
Navy did not have a good season. University of Virginia, did not. They finished 6-6.
Fuck Virginia for that bad beat against Abilene Christian a couple years back. We'll bring that up anytime, anywhere.
Georgia Tech was bad. Stanford was bad. Like, it's just, I wanted to just fly through this game here, but
You can't ignore Notre Dame and just
ineptitude in
how crap they are.
major ineptitude in postseason games. Like, moving
Join
on.
the ACC, please.
I don't necessarily know if going in the ACC will help because they'll still play shitty teams other than Clemson, and they might still play a shitty team in Clemson. It depends on where Clemson's going.
Mm-hmm.
The Citrus Bowl, the Iowa Hawkeyes, who can't score points, played the Kentucky Wildcats, who are just average at football. Kentucky,
Best season in Kentucky history, I do believe.
yeah, I believe so. Kentucky won 20-17.
Kentucky, not a football school, but they put together a decent-ish program.
Yeah.
Iowa showed their ass.
Yeah, that's all I got on that. Moving on to the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. God, I hate that this game is played at 5 o'clock at night. This game didn't end until almost 10.
Sure didn't.
Ohio State beat Utah 48-45 in a wild one in which Ohio State did not have a lead
To the very end.
until the very end. This game, they tied this. Actually, that's a lie. They had a lead with 4 minutes and change left.
Game was insane.
This
is Music City Bowl stuff.
Yeah.
For the first half.
The second quarter had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touchdowns.
There and 4 of those, maybe even 5, were scored in about 2 minutes of game time. Big play, big hitter. Big
No,
hitter,
here,
big
I'll stop
hitter,
it.
Big hitter.
5 of them were scored in 3 minutes
Yeah.
of game time.
I was like, I was watching that like, what is happening?
Yeah.
That wasn't football.
Yeah.
I guess that wasn't defense.
I mean, it's what I expected out of Ohio State football for like what I've been seeing out of this Ohio State defense all season.
It's insane. It was incredibly fun. I mean, for me, I don't know for you as a defensive guy.
It was frustrating.
Somebody who loves defense, but God, that was entertaining.
Honestly, if I was a neutral fan, I would have loved this game.
Right.
If I was a 100% neutral fan, this game, I would have enjoyed this game because it was just fun.
Insane.
CJ Stroud has proven me wrong and a lot of other guys wrong. I said at the beginning of the season, I just don't know what we can get out of Stroud because we see him throw, like, his stats, especially his passing yards, come via volume.
Mm-hmm.
And he played phenomenal. Jackson Smith and Jigba set an Ohio State record and a Rose Bowl record and a bowl game, a full bowl season record. In receiving yards, he has the most receiving yards in any bowl game in college football history at 347.
I think I saw that in the final 4 or 5 games of the season, Jackson Smith and Jigba had nearly 1,000 yards.
Yes. Yes.
That's insane.
Marvin Harris.
Half the first half of the year, like you probably would have put him as like the third option behind Wilson and Olave.
Then just the right combination of things. It happened right around the Nebraska game when Chris Olave couldn't travel because of concussion, or maybe it was Garrett Wilson that couldn't travel because of concussion. It was right around there when one of those two couldn't travel that Jackson Smith and Jigba just popped on.
I don't want to see him next year.
And, like, the first half of this game just sickened me as an Ohio State fan.
I can imagine.
And it wasn't even because Ohio State was losing. I wouldn't have been shocked if Ohio State was going to lose this game just because Utah's a solid program.
Looked like it for a long while.
But nobody wanted to be there. And then something happened in halftime in the locker room. Ryan Day said something, or a team leader, somebody said something. It was like, hey, we need to remember who the fuck we are here. We need to go out and play with some form of fucking pride. And fuck, they sure did that in the second half.
I mean, hey. I wish the Rose Bowl meant more than it currently does. But that was, I mean, it's still a big game to the teams that play in it. So. And
I said last week that this was a culture game for Ohio State. If they got their asses handed to them by Michigan, there's no way around it. I can't say anything else. They got their asses handed to them by Michigan. If they would have came out here and on last Saturday on New Year's Day and lost to Utah, I as an Ohio State fan would have been worried, because that would have just showed that the young guys just didn't have it.
I mean, the young guys on offense might have it.
Like, the young guys on offense didn't even really have it until, I mean, the second quarter, and it was not looking great.
No.
Necessarily. And I mean, there are things to clean up. Jackson Smith and Jigba needs to work a little bit on ball security. He had that one fumble in the second quarter where they would have had even more touchdowns in that second quarter. We would have been looking at 7 instead of 6 had he not fumbled that ball running into the end zone. Phenomenal hustle play by that Utah defender. Clean up that ball security. CJ Stroud did have his moment of kind of idiocy where he threw a ball into double, borderline triple coverage, and it was intercepted.
Triple coverage.
Yeah, like, I don't have any other great way to say it.
Goodness gracious.
Ryan Day still needs, I know Utah has a great run defense. They do. Ryan Day still needs to figure some things out. You have 2 phenomenal backs in Travion Henderson and Mayan Williams. Run the fucking ball a little bit. Marvin Harrison Jr., his routes are butter. Jackson Smith and Jigba's phenomenal. I things with Jim Knowles coming in as DC, right now things look good for Ohio State. And that's something we'll tackle here in a few weeks once we get into kind of a just dead season. And we'll tackle definitely at the beginning of season 6.
More likely.
As an Ohio State fan, I am very, very proud with what that team showed me in the second half. Yes, there were still some seniors out there that did want to play in one final game and wanted to go out with a win. But it was a lot of young guys that are going to be here next year. The majority of the team that took the field last Saturday is all playing next year. And all of those young guys showed a lot of heart and a lot of pride in that second half. Especially on defense, holding a team that you gave up 35-2.5 to 10.
A lot of goddamn points
in the second half.
RIP underbetters on that one.
I'm trying to, real quick. The over-under was set at 64.5.
Yeah, that got killed.
Yes, it did. Yes, it
Goodness
did.
Gracious.
And one final note I haven't seen an update on this. I do actually. I just saw an update on this. I hope Utah's sophomore quarterback, by the way, Cameron Rising, is okay. He left the game in the fourth quarter after suffering a let's call it what it is. It was a concussion. He got sacked, and then he his neck whiplashed into the turf.
Brutal.
And when his head hit the ground, he just went board stiff. Like right now, ESPN is playing it on my screen. You could see when he hit the ground, and he just board stiff.
Mm-hmm. Knocked out.
I hope Cameron Rising is doing well. According to this ESPN report, he's at home. That Utah did announce he's at home and is doing well he's at home with his family and doing well. And
Good
one
stuff.
more. I actually gotta go track this one down real quick. Ohio State's sophomore safety Lathan Ransom. I don't know if you saw this one.
I don't believe I did.
Oh, redshirt freshman, actually, technically. Fractured his leg on a special teams play in the second quarter. It was actually the touchdown, the kick return touchdown by Utah. They had to throw an emergency cast on him. He had surgery, I believe, on Sunday. Lathan Ransom looks like he's gonna be a promising safety. Said that his surgery went great, and he's hoping that he can get back to be able to play for fall practices. Ohio State, well, I can't say Ohio State defensive coordinator because he's not the true DC anymore. Ohio State defensive backs coaches, I would assume they're going to keep Kerry Coombs around, said that Lathan Ransom will not be able to participate for spring practices, obviously, coming up here in 2 months. But he'll be back for the fall. Lathan Ransom was one of the bright spots on the defense. And it's looking like Jim Knowles is going to want him on the team and to use.
And he's got a cool last name.
So, and what's scary? What's really scary about this is this injury is almost exactly same to what Josh Proctor suffered back in September. Another Ohio State safety. But I'm glad to hear that Lathan Ransom is doing okay and is expected to be able to get back soon-ish. Yeah, I mean, when you're not talking till getting back till fall/summer camp, you're not talking till June, July.
Right.
But that injury looked so much worse than what it's reported to be now. And also the ESPN sideline reporter, I don't know which one it was, her phenomenally awful report of, well, they had to put a cast on him and he got sent to the hospital. Like, that was her report. Like, okay, what happened? What was the actual injury? Like,
you'd imagine that somebody notable on the sidelines for the Rose Bowl, you would think.
Yeah.
Like, who was in the booth for that game?
Herbie and Fowler. Which we need to get Fowler away from every Ohio State game because he, as a Penn State guy, does not like Ohio State.
We need to get Fowler away from any game ever because he's not a good commentator.
Well, that too. Let's move on.
Hold on. How many games we got left for college?
2.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, we've been here for 2.5 hours, and I need to piss.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go do that. If you get to the NFL before I am back, just run through those. I really don't have much to say about, other than a couple notes about any of these. So
So do you have anything to say about the Lions? Oh my god, I forgot the Lions score was that bad.
The Lions are far down. I'll be back before that.
Okay, I'm just gonna say these 2 scores.
All right, I'll be here.
Sugar Bowl. Baylor beat Ole Miss 21-7. This game served as a phenomenal reminder as to why players opt out in games that aren't meaningful. Matt Corral had a not great injury. Trying to figure out what it was, what the actual injury was. Let's see. Not saying what his injury was. I know he did end up coming back onto the field, or back onto the sideline. That was with an ankle injury. I don't know how severe it was. I don't know if we actually have seen how severe it was. Actually, that's a lie. According to his father, it was just a ankle sprain. Yeah.
I have returned.
Oh, I was just talking about why Matt Corral's injury is why players do opt out bowl games sometimes.
Ooh, I forgot that game was in this. Yeah, man,
Yeah.
that sucks.
According to his father, it was just an ankle sprain. I don't know what the ligament damage is in there. I haven't seen anything else about that.
I mean, he was on crutches and everything, so
Yeah,
I can't imagine it's phenomenal.
I mean, I've had a grade 1 ankle sprain and I've been put on crutches. I've had the lowest level of ankle sprain you can be and be put on crutches. That's just a precaution.
Yeah. The whole situation really sucks for Matt Corral. I've loved watching him play all season long.
He's been fun to watch.
So that was definitely that sucked. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, Matt Corral said before the game, when he was asked about why he was playing, he was like, "I'm going out with my guys."
It's fair to him.
In the worst possible thing that he could have said in hindsight, it's like, I don't care what happens. Like, I'm going out with my guys.
Yeah, that's one of the worst things he could have said. Backup quarterback, sure, he probably wasn't expecting to play, but oh my god, he was bad.
I mean, I can't imagine he sees a lot of time behind Corral.
What's that guy? What was their other back? What was their one of their other backup quarterbacks' names?
I don't know.
Kincaid Dent.
It's no wonderful Terry, but that's a pretty good name.
I had to go. Oh my gosh, that's glorious. Okay, move on to our final bowl game. The Texas Bowl. Kansas State beat LSU 42-20. Ouch.
Damn, I only missed one bowl game?
Yeah.
The quickest pee of all time.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the NFL. Yeah, you only missed one bowl game because I did kind of ramble about why some players do opt out for bowl games.
Hey, no matter the reason, I only missed one bowl game.
There you go. Buffalo beat Atlanta 29-15. Who the fuck cares? This game was... Yeah.
I mean, Bills Mafia cares, but that's about it.
Yeah. I have a few things I want to say about this game. This next one.
I figured you might.
Not a lot, because I do want to get this going. Cincinnati Bengals beat Kansas City 34-31. Bengals won the AFC North. With this win, they won the AFC North.
Jesus. When's the last time they did that?
2012, 11 maybe, 13.
Not as far back as I would have thought, but then again, I'm a Lions fan, so I'm just used to decades and decades of ineptitude.
Yeah, let me look. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but 2015 actually. They did win one in 2015.
Well then.
The beginning of this year, I thought this Bengals team wasn't going to be good. I thought they were going to be trash.
I'm fairly certain you thought they might have the exact same or very close to the same record that they did a year ago.
Yes. And the exact same wouldn't have been possible just because they had one extra game. But yeah.
Duh.
I figured they would finish. I do believe I believe they're going to finish with 4 wins. I was wrong.
About right.
And I'm happy to be wrong.
Right.
I don't know what.
I bet you are.
It may not sound like it. The Ja'Marr Chase pick has proven me like I still don't love the pick, admittedly. Because Joe Burrow is still the most sacked quarterback in the NFL.
Right. And Penei Sewell is looking like the dude that everyone expected him to be. But you gotta admit, like, you guys got an incredible, the best wide receiver in the draft. No doubt, and he's proven it every week.
Yeah.
I get what you mean, though. Like, you want to protect Joe Burrow because he's the future of that team, so.
And, like, is this team going to be dangerous in the playoffs? I don't know.
They might be.
I honestly, they might be. It's just so hard to say because...
You beat the Chiefs whatsoever. You were doing something right and something really special. Like, even in an up and down year for the Chiefs, like, this game is close. Kansas City looked like Kansas City for the most part. So...
Yeah. At least in the first half.
I said, like, this game is going to show how good the Bengals are. And goddamn, man. I mean, not only was Kansas City just on this roll, this incredible roll lately, they covered in like 7 straight games.
Yeah.
And they were favorites coming into this one. And, well, we know how that went.
The Chiefs going into the halftime locker room were up 28-17.
Mm-hmm.
They were held to 3 points in the second half.
Did you ever believe that the Bengals defense could do that?
No, this Bengals defense has been so off and on at points. The thing that still worries me is Joe Mixon's really good at football. Give him the ball at some point.
I mean, they give him the ball more than Cleveland gives the ball to Nick Chubb.
We'll talk about that shortly.
We sure fucking will. God damn it.
But you can't just run the ball. I think they ran the ball less than 20 times. Let's see. 19 times. This against the Chiefs. And
I guess when Joe Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase are doing the things that they're doing, I mean...
5 of those runs were by Joe Burrow. You still, like, that offensive line scares me. The Zach Taylor wanting to throw the ball 40 to 50 times a game scares me. Joe Burrow got sacked.
Don't think you're gonna get your wish of Zach Taylor being fired.
No. Oh God, no. He's up for Coach of the Year, which makes no sense.
I mean, I get why.
I get why, but it just makes
obviously like you're a Bengals fan, and nobody, Bengals fan or not, expected them to do what they've done this year.
Oh God, no.
Like I sure didn't. I didn't think they'd be as bad as you thought they would be, but I didn't expect a winning season, let alone a division title.
Yeah. I just don't know. Like, this team right now, what really scares me about this team, what really scares me about the Cincinnati Bengals, is I could very much see this team becoming what they were in Andy Dalton's first 4 years, where they just make the playoffs and then they're bounced immediately.
I don't know, man.
And that scares me right now.
I get the concern for that, given that you've been through that before. But like
I just
when did those teams ever beat the best team in the NFL?
they did a couple of those years.
And I mean, Cincinnati has been inconsistent. They've lost some games that they shouldn't have lost. But when they're good, they're damn
Yes.
good.
That yes, I will agree with that.
Like even when the Bengals were good under Andy Dalton, they weren't like this. Like they're
No, they were not.
breaking insane at points this year.
So yeah, I'm happy. I am very happy that they won this game. I'm happy they won the division.
I'm happy for you.
I don't know what this team can do because they just sometimes don't get off the bus.
Hey, take it how it's going. That's where I was with Michigan. Like just take it,
Like
ride the bus until they force you to get off.
like whatever happens the rest of this way, I'm okay with.
I mean, it's actually very similar because like I didn't expect anything out of Michigan this year. You didn't expect anything out of the Bengals, and they took us respectively on great rides throughout the season where we didn't expect them to do that.
Like I am very, like I said, whatever happens, I want them to beat the Browns on Sunday. Yes. But whatever happens at this point
shouldn't be hard, but then again,
whatever happens at this point happens. The Bengals did something I didn't expect they were going to do, and I'm happy. So let's move on.
Aren't they not playing? Isn't Cleveland not playing Baker Mayfield this week?
Baker is not playing.
You guys are fine.
I mean, Joe Burrow's not playing either, but so we're gonna.
Oh God, who's your guys' backup?
Believe Brandon Allen's gonna be playing, which we saw him a little bit on Sunday because Joe Burrow did take a awkward. Yep, it will be Brandon Allen. It seems Joe Burrow did take a awkward hit at the end of the game.
Right.
Brandon Allen then took a kneel down and then almost completely fucked up and damn near did not snap the ball to spike it in time.
So did never mind. I lost my point.
What?
I literally forgot what I was going to say.
Joe Burrow I do not believe is playing because of injury. I think it's just playing because why?
Oh, I do remember. Does this game matter in terms of seeding for you guys whatsoever?
Possibly, depending on a couple other things.
I mean, I guess you guys are division champions regardless, and you're not going to get the number 1 seed. So yeah, so it really doesn't.
See, here's the thing. Things would
be. If you win the wild card game, it would, but right now it does not. Here's
the thing. Things are very interesting because Tennessee and Kansas City are tied at 11-5.
Yep.
The Bengals are at 10-6.
Okay.
If Kansas City were to somehow lose to the Broncos, which is now today or on Saturday, and Tennessee somehow loses to the Texans, things could be very interesting. I don't know what the tiebreakers would be at that point.
Derrick Henry coming back, man. Oh boy.
Yeah, that scares me.
I don't think this week, but for the playoffs.
Yeah. It might matter a little bit in terms of seeding, definitely because of the Bills playing the Jets.
This isn't going well.
Like, this could be a very interesting... If the Bengals and Bills win, but the Titans and Chiefs lose, the Bengals will still have a higher seed than the Bills because of best win percentage in conference. If something happens where we have 2 or 3 teams or 4 teams, if we have 4 teams at 3 teams at 11-6 or 4 teams at 11-6, things could be very interesting, and I don't know what would really happen. I don't know where tiebreakers would come in. Like, right now, Tennessee will have a tiebreaker over Kansas City based on head-to-head because Derrick Henry decided to throw touchdown passes that game.
I love that still. I mean, I hated it at the time because I believe I had Derrick Henry anytime touchdown scorer in that game.
Yeah, I did too.
And then he did that and didn't run for a touchdown.
I know. So irritating. So in short, yes, technically,
but very minimally.
Because
like you can't get the number 1 seed, right? I mean, you can if a lot of weird
like I said,
stuff
I don't know what
happens.
tiebreakers are.
Right.
Because again, Kansas City's playing Denver. The Bengals would have to, if Denver were to lose and Kansas City or the Bengals were to win, if Kansas City were to lose and the Bengals were to win, Bengals would jump Kansas City because of head-to-head tiebreaker. But the Chiefs right now, as it's sitting, are a 10-point favorite.
As they should be.
Yeah. Same thing with Tennessee over Houston. Like, yes, this game could mean something, but it's really very hard. Like, there's a lot that needs to happen.
All right.
I mean, it could long run mean something if they lose and the Bills win. Bengals might drop down to the 4, but yeah. Moving on. Nothing to say about these next slew of games, most likely. Chicago beat the New York Giants 29-3.
What?
Yeah, game happened.
Why did it happen?
I have no answers.
Nobody wanted this. Not even fans of those teams.
Correct.
Move on.
Yep. Next, the Las Vegas Raiders beat, I almost say Golden Knights. Las Vegas Raiders beat the Indianapolis Colts 23-20.
We will not be doing a hockey recap every week because we'd be here forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, this shocked me a little bit. Colts have been hot as hell, and then they did this.
Yeah.
But they're still fine. Colts will still be fine.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor's still a dude.
Jonathan Taylor is a dude. In a game that was moving on, in a game that was extremely weird and saw punches in the ass and punches to teammates' faces, chests, some chest plates, kind of. The Los Angeles Rams did beat the Baltimore Ravens 20-19.
Yeah. Punches in the ass, punches on the sideline.
No, it was in a huddle. It was in the huddle.
What?
Yes.
I didn't even see it. I heard about it. I didn't see it. It was in the huddle?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No.
I wish I was lying.
Oh, God. I mean, we're long past the point of...
This is the weirdest NFL season we've ever seen.
Probably. Quick note. I really don't have much to say about this game, but quick note. Did you see the video of that somebody put together that was like, man, I hope the NFL's normal in 2022. And then says January 2nd, because that was the NFL Sunday.
Yep.
And all the weird things that happened with some clown music going on.
No, I did not. That sounds glorious, though.
I mean, it even left some stuff out, but it made me lose my mind.
I did not. This has been the weirdest
Hilarious.
NFL season we've seen ever. At least in my lifetime. I feel like.
This last weekend might have been the weirdest NFL season or NFL week I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, Christ.
Moving on. The New England Patriots beat the Jacksonville Jaguars by 40. Final score 50-10. Something notable about this game, because there is one notable thing.
Didn't expect that.
One singular notable thing about this game.
Trevor Lawrence didn't throw a touchdown pass?
Trevor Lawrence, I went to the wrong game.
Oops.
Finally threw his third touchdown pass since since Halloween.
Wow!
His third since Halloween.
Wow! Way to go, Trevor, man.
He was still terrible. 17 for 27, 193 yards, 3 interceptions.
I'm sorry, what was his attempts and completions?
17 for 27.
Oh, okay, I thought you said 7 for 27.
No.
Oh, fuck.
And Trevor Lawrence's touchdown pass didn't come till there was 3 minutes and 48 seconds left in the game.
That would have really sucked had the Patriots not scored as many points as they did. That would have been bad beat territory.
Yeah. All I gotta say, the only other thing I gotta say about this game, and I'm not calling Trevor Lawrence a bust.
No, we can't do that yet.
And you could say whatever you want to say about him being on the Jags. Worst rookie quarterback of this rookie quarterback class.
I still put Zach Wilson below him.
Zach Wilson
But
beat him
second
though.
worst. I know.
I mean, Zach Wilson did not play better than him. Okay, so second worst. Yeah, Zach Wilson did
and
not.
Zach Wilson, I wasn't high on Zach Wilson when the draft was coming on. He's not shown me anything.
I'll give you that.
Trevor Lawrence will get it figured out eventually.
Not with the Jags.
It would depend if the Jags get their shit together, which they probably won't.
With Shad Khan as their owner, they definitely won't.
By the way, never mind. I'll save it for the picks.
Okay. Moving on, the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Washington football team 20-16. This game looked good. At least it looked good. I know at one point Taylor Heineke had a perfect completion percentage, and then he just threw a kind of goofy, not very good interception at the end of the game. Washington was driving and then just threw a bad interception.
I don't know. Fuck this game, because I don't care.
I agree with that.
I really do think that Taylor Heineke, I mean, I don't think Washington should be looking for a quarterback. I think Taylor Heineke has proven that he can be solid
for a little while.
Yeah, for a little while. I mean, he's nothing special, but he's definitely worthy of an NFL starting job. Yeah,
I agree. Moving on. Tampa Bay beat the New York Jets 28-24. This game was terrible.
This fucking game. I mean, the Antonio Brown stuff. The Bucs were looted. Like, Tampa Bay with some of the highest odds to win a Super Bowl was losing to the Jets. Like, what?
For almost the entire game.
What was this? An alternate reality.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
The Tennessee.
Goddamn Jets.
Let's keep rolling on. Tennessee Titans beat Miami 34-3.
You know, this is the first time I've looked at the score. The hell, Miami? What happened?
I don't think they got off the bus.
Man, I knew their 6-game
7
undefeated streak was even worse. I knew their undefeated run was fraudulent.
Arizona beat the Dallas Cowboys 25-22. I didn't watch this game. I didn't really care about this game. It existed.
It kind of sucked. Really kind of sucked. I mean, I think we're looking at two fraudulent sort of teams right now that might be one and done in the playoffs, unless they play each other.
Dallas is just so goofy. Dallas is so goofy.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of them. But
Dallas looks really good, and then they look fucking terrible.
Mhm.
Arizona, I will 100% agree with. Arizona is definitely fraudulent. Like, they're frauds.
Lost to my Lions.
I'm not even saying, like, they're not even frauds because of that, because you can get out, like, you could just have a bad day. And shit doesn't work.
They've been having bad days prior to
Yeah. Yeah.
like you lose to the Lions, man. In this year, come on.
Yeah. The
And I mean,
Lions are 100.
Other than they were without DeAndre Hopkins in that game, but they don't win with him.
While I will say I do believe the Lions could go beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Lions are 100% the worst team in the NFL. On paper. Just off of, like, you look at their roster.
The roster, yes. I think this staff gets the best out of what we got.
Yeah, I will agree with that
okay.
statement.
So, like, we got the number two pick in the draft. That's already locked up.
Think it because there aren't 3 more games for you to win, so yeah.
What?
I said there aren't 3 more games for you to win, or 2 more to possibly drop to 3. So yeah, two is locked up.
Yeah, no. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Like
I thought you were talking about us in the number 1 pick.
No,
Huh?
no.
No. Yeah. No. The Lions roster wise are worse than the Jags, but this coaching staff just does what they can with them, and they believe in this coaching staff. And
Most weeks
they're terrible. They're terrible, but they get they play hard for the guys that are in charge.
Yep, I agree. Moving on, the Los Angeles Chargers beat the Denver Broncos 34-13. Whoop-de-doo. The Chargers are one of the most inconsistent teams in football. They're so confusing. I don't know what they are.
I don't know what they are either. I want to see them in the playoffs, but who knows if they get there.
Yeah, hard to say. They have to beat the Raiders this week, or tie the Raiders.
The Raiders should just beat the Colts, so who the fuck knows?
Yeah. In a game, well, it kept the Saints' playoff hopes alive. The Saints beat Carolina 18-10.
This is me learning that the Saints still had playoff hopes.
Yep.
I had no idea.
Over in the NFC, it's between them and San Francisco, who, well, we're about to talk about San Francisco here in a second. San Francisco beat the Houston Texans 23-7.
Huh.
This game existed. That's all I got.
I mean, I feel like we just rushed through the Houston games, the Jacksonville games for the most part. The Houston games all season long have just been like, well, that existed. Let's move on.
I think on paper the Houston roster is worse than the Jags. Is the thing.
I would agree with that if not for Davis Mills,
Fair.
who is showing that he can play. Obviously didn't do it here, but
That's fair.
Davis Mills has looked really good at points at times this season. Trevor Lawrence really hasn't.
That is fair.
Everywhere else on the roster, like they're both inept, they both suck. But Davis Mills somehow looks like he might be something
Fair.
for the Houston Texans.
Oh boy, this game existed. This is a game that I did not watch, but you did, I would assume.
You didn't watch this game?
I did not.
The hell else was on?
Nothing that I wanted to watch. I went and did other things.
Fair enough. Yeah, man.
CBS was showing professional tractor and truck pulling after the Bengals-Chiefs game. Main reason I didn't watch this game was because it fell in the time slot after the Bengals-Chiefs game, and I didn't want to watch bad football after watching phenomenal football.
This was bad football on one side.
The Seattle Seahawks played the Detroit Football Lions. Russell Wilson looked like Russell Wilson, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Seahawks won 51-29.
Yeah. Whoa.
The Seattle defense still has a few issues.
Yeah, you allowed 29 points to this Detroit Lions team with Tim Boyle at quarterback.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, with Jared Goff, we might win this game. I'm not even kidding.
You're not wrong.
Tim Boyle is just that terrible. He was so. My main issue with this game, is so. Let me disclaimer here. Nobody cares about anyone's fantasy football team until the fantasy Super Bowl.
I know where this is going.
Is all I have for this game. Because, I mean, Tim Boyle starting, dude doesn't belong on an NFL roster. So, we did what happened in the game, other than what I'm about to say, do not care. Happy we lost. Keep the hope for the number 1 pick alive if the Jags somehow beat the Colts. But I said hope. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I said hope. 5 minutes before kickoff. Because, you know, this is kind of a pseudo backdoor cover as well. You know. Because we're not doing it, because we're doing this on Friday.
Yeah.
5 minutes before kickoff, I took a look at my roster, and in my flex spot, I put DeAndre Swift over Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Pain. Pain.
Amon-Ra St. Brown had been great last few weeks. But Tim Boyle, man. Tim Boyle's starting. DeAndre Swift's coming back from injury. He's one of the best players on this team. Like, he's an actual guy. Maybe even a dude. I think he probably is.
He's a man.
He probably is a dude.
No, I don't know if I'd go that far yet, because you have guy at the bottom, then you have man, and then dude. He's definitely a man.
We'll see.
He's definitely a man.
As of right now, man is fair. But he can be a dude.
Yeah.
Comes back from injury.
You know who can't be a dude?
Oh no.
Tim Boyle.
I want to go back to a time where I didn't know Tim Boyle existed.
Continue. I don't even remember where he went to college at.
I don't know.
Google is my friend. Keep
anyway.
going on. Oh, yes.
I started DeAndre. Oh, no. What?
UConn for 2 years, and then Eastern Kentucky. Wait, isn't Tim Boyle the freaking guy who wrestled Aaron Rodgers?
Yes.
Yes. I didn't know that then. Oh my gosh, yes. I'm sorry, continue.
Fuck Dan Snyder, that's the show, guys. I don't want to do this anymore. God damn it.
It's bedtime, everyone.
Anyway.
I've been up for way too long.
I started DeAndre Swift because Dan Campbell said that he would be a full participant. He got less than 10 carries for basically a couple yards. And if I would have started Amon-Ra St. Brown, I would have won my fantasy Super Bowl and become a 3-time fantasy football champion. Didn't happen. So thank you, Dan Campbell.
Pain.
Fireable offense. I'm
pain.
kidding. I like that. I like Dan Campbell. Yeah, that is pain.
Let's move on. The Packers beat the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday Night Football, 37-10. Really, all I gotta say about this: Aaron Rodgers is good at football. Sean Mannion, who played against Aaron Rodgers, is not really phenomenal at football.
Nah.
That's that. I mean, he threw a touchdown pass.
Who's the other quarterback on the Minnesota roster?
Kellen Mond.
Kellen Mond. Mike Zimmer, when asked about the game, will you get a look at Kellen Mond next week? Nope. Seen everything I've needed to see. God, what a burial. Terrible. I don't know if that's Mike Zimmer just resigning any form of interest because he knows he's going to get fired, or if he really just doesn't like Kellen Mond. I don't know what the deal is, but
Like, all I'm gonna say about this, you have Sean Mannion about this game. You have Sean Mannion as your quarterback. Sean Mannion, I mean, he held his own, 22 for 36, 189 yards, threw a touchdown. He had a QBR of 34 and a passer rating of 84.
yeah.
I mean, he held his own at least. Didn't throw any interceptions. He only took 2 sacks. All I'm gonna say about this game is why are you only giving the ball to Dalvin Cook 9 times?
Why
Why?
are they? Why are the Lions only giving the ball to DeAndre Swift as many times as they did?
No answers.
They featured Jamal Williams, man.
Ouch. And
like we ran the ball. We ran the ball. I don't know how I've tied this back to the Lions game into my fantasy football team. They ran the ball plenty of times. DeAndre Swift was just non-existent.
see, the Vikings didn't even run the ball. They ran the ball 11 times. Total. Like, the Vikings didn't even run the ball. And 2 of those 11 carries were Sean Mannion running the ball.
I put Payne on the cardboard cutout this week for Michigan. The real Payne should have been in Honolulu blue and silver.
And finally, the Monday night game, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. This game was bad.
Wasn't good by any stretch of the imagination.
I watched more Monday Night Raw until I decided to go to bed than this football game.
Monday Night Raw.
I watched more wrestling, WWE professional wrestling.
Sports entertainment.
Sports entertainment.
Don't say wrestling. You'll get fired by Vince.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm really worried about that.
If you don't know, wrestling is actually a banned term by Vince McMahon.
I know. I watched WWE. The sports entertainment was more entertaining than real sports.
Yup.
Is this
I
Monday
SmackDown
night?
tonight. This is just me realizing that this is Friday. I miss SmackDown tonight. The only
Shit.
good WWE show.
Yeah, I forgot about that too.
Damn, I'll have to watch that one back.
Ben Roethlisberger's final game in Pittsburgh. I mean, they won. They
He
still have a
looked
chance.
alright. Baker looked terrible.
Baker just needs to get out of this season.
Yeah, he really does. He just needs to get. Because look,
He needs to get to the off season.
the people that are like, oh well, he regressed. He's looking even worse than he was the previous season. He's been hurt. Like, he can still be the same Baker that you like. I'm not saying he's good by any stretch of the imagination.
So I'm gonna say
But
this
he
real
can,
quick.
He can be the same
ahead.
guy that you had before. A guy that's good enough to win you games, but his throwing shoulder is messed up.
So pre-injury, it did look like he had regressed a little bit from last year.
Maybe, but I
But
mean,
it's-
he's been injured for a large chunk of this season. So you're talking about a small sample size.
But at the same time, I don't know what Kevin Stefanski's doing. Right.
Nick Chubb, man, you got a dude, and I don't think I'm going out on any sort of limb here, calling Nick Chubb a dude.
He's a dude.
He's a dude.
He might not be a dude like Jonathan Taylor or
No,
Derrick Henry, because you're talking like at the pinnacle of dudes in the NFL at running back at
Right.
least. Like, he's
Jonathan
a
Taylor
dude.
and Derrick Henry are insane. Like, they will do what they're doing. They will be Hall of Famers.
First ballot.
More than likely, yes.
Like, if both of them keep this pace up, and they aren't first ballot Hall of Famers, everybody who voted needs to lose their privileges. Just saying.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb will be a Hall of Famer if he stays healthy and does what he keeps doing. Might not be first ballot, but
that he's the best player on that team.
Oh God,
outside of maybe Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
I mean, they're right at those two are right at the top for Cleveland. Like, Myles Garrett is absolutely a dude.
Yep.
Nick Chubb is absolutely a dude. They're both phenomenal. If they keep it up, like
Jarvis Landry's a dude.
He is, but man, they don't use him right.
No, because I think that a lot of this, like, and I engaged with some Browns fans throughout the day while I was at work doing other stuff. Is Baker the long-term guy? Maybe not.
I think he still can be.
You have another year of Baker, like.
Right. Next, you're not gonna replace Baker this year, I don't think.
Because you're paying him no matter what next year.
Right.
It's guaranteed money. He's getting paid no matter what next year.
What? It's first overall pick money, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So, big money.
Next year is the last year of his contract, yes. But it's still guaranteed money because they chose to pick up that option of that year, of next year.
Yep.
So, like, and all these people, go get, like, I had a couple Browns fans, they can get Deshaun Watson. I don't think Cleveland wants that.
Him. You don't want him right now.
Cleveland, I believe, is past that, wanting just dysfunction. I think Cleveland does want to be a football team.
They've had plenty of it.
I think Cleveland's a team that they want to win football games. They don't want the dysfunction.
The Deshaun Watson stuff, any fan base that wants him, look, there is way too much going on. You cannot do that. It won't, the energy that brings to your team, to have a guy with that much noise going on around him of things that have nothing to do with football. You don't want that. That will not help your team.
And
is Deshaun Watson better than Baker Mayfield? Of course.
Yeah.
But
is he better than Taylor Heineke? Yes.
Yes.
Is he better than Zach Wilson? Yes.
He's better than a lot of guys starting in the NFL right now.
Teddy Bridgewater.
But you cannot. I like Teddy, man. Don't bring Teddy into that.
I like Teddy Bridgewater. I like Teddy.
But
I could go down the list.
Look, if this stuff can get cleared up, if his name is, if he's exonerated from all of this stuff that's going on around him, if he's cleared of all this stuff, then yes, by any means. Houston will probably keep him at that point. But right now,
I don't think so. I think Houston's done with him.
I mean, he was done with Houston as well. So, but they have that massive contract for him. You know, he's still there technically. If he gets cleared of all the stuff, then you never know. But no, just do not. Any fan base that wants Deshaun Watson, just stop. Just don't. Do not look past all of that that is currently going on. But anyway, about the game that we were actually talking about. It was kind of cool. What a transition this is. Deshaun Watson to Ben Roethlisberger. But, I mean, Ben Roethlisberger had his stuff. He never got convicted of anything. Whatever. So we can look at this in a bit of a different way that we could with Deshaun Watson. Ben had a phenomenal send-off because it is going to be his send-off. His post-game interview said everything we needed to know about that. That's it for Ben. It was a very cool moment if you put everything else with Ben, the problematic parts aside. Great stuff. And I know Pittsburgh's gonna miss him. I mean, they chanted "Thank you, Ben" for like the whole fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So, and with that garbage time touchdown with Najee Harris that decided so many fantasy Super Bowls, that Najee Harris is your dude for a long while now.
Yeah, he is 100% also the dude.
The amount of fantasy football championships that came down to the last score of Week 17, the final week of the fantasy season, is insane. But anyway, Ben had a great career. I'd never had a losing season.
No.
That's incredible to
Absurd.
think about.
And he
And Mike-
played
18 years.
Yeah.
18 seasons.
Yeah.
It makes no
Absurd.
sense. But I mean, that Pittsburgh organization is on a different level. They have been just at the top for so long. Between Bill Cowher and Mike Tomlin, I mean, you're blessed with two of the best coaches of all time.
Yeah.
Yes. With the same team. It's like Aaron Rodgers succeeding Brett Favre in Green Bay. It's incredible. Like, how do you get that lucky?
Yeah.
Crazy. Any other notes on that one?
No, I just I don't really have much to say. Najee Harris is a dude. I like watching me some Najee Harris. Even with him being a Steelers running back, and Steelers running backs have beaten up on the Cincinnati Bengals a lot in the past.
Yeah, I'd say.
This game, good for Ben Roethlisberger to go out the way he did at home. Can they maybe have one last ride through the playoffs? So hard to say. I doubt it.
Gonna take a lot for that to happen, but at least his last game is meaningful.
Yeah.
And a crazy stat that they talked about on Monday Night Football. He has been eliminated from the playoffs in exactly 2 games in his entire career.
Jesus.
2 games that throughout the entirety of his 18 seasons that his team has been eliminated from the playoffs when they played.
Jesus.
Insane. But, last note, shout out Jeff, Steeler fan.
Yeah.
We love us some Jeff.
We love you, Jeff. Haven't talked to you in a bit, but we love you. Let's move on to the picks.
He's just gotta reply. Well, I mean, I talked to him for a second in the group chat. He's just gotta reply to the Mickey James stuff that I sent in the group chat with us.
Let's say every once in a while in our group chat we talk to him. Okay, let's move on to the picks so we can get out of here.
Hold on real quickly. We gotta find a fucking game that we can play with Jeff. God damn it.
Yeah, we do. Jesus.
Let's go.
The college picks. Jordan can't catch up.
Now,
I am at 130 after a long season that has really just been about us trying to kind of outlast the other.
Towards the end, I mean, for the majority of the year, we were just picking what we felt was the right choice. Later in the year, I mean, I caught up, and if I remember correctly, even led for 1 week.
Yes.
In the college picks.
Yes.
But I was mega behind for quite some time, and I made some bizarre picks to even catch up. So I have no shame in losing the year-end title. Congratulations. This is the first time we've ever really done the full season.
Yeah.
So you are the first ever champion of the college picks.
Thank you. Like I said, this season, I had fun doing these picks every week. It was just a grind because it was an outlast. It was just who can outlast the other here. I will finish.
A grind also because I had to do math every fucking week. Okay, so until the end of the regular season, well, sort of.
Yeah.
The Army-Navy game is technically regular season, but it was on CBS, and I could just easily do it because I knew I picked 15 games a week.
Other than that 20-game week.
Right, yes. Then once we had to switch over to ESPN, math got really hard.
Yeah.
And I hate math.
I wrap up the championship at 133 and 117. Jordan's 131, 119. With one college game left to play, he cannot catch up. So, Jordan, for the final time for the college football season.
These are the picks, and I kind of didn't even bring up the ESPN stuff here to actually make these picks because I forgot that I actually had to kind of, read the spread.
Oh, so
but I haven't.
Okay.
But I have it now.
Perfect. For the final time, Jordan, give me your college football picks.
For the final time, and of course we got to bring the people into this final college game of the year. Number 3 Georgia against number 1 Alabama. Both teams 14-1. Alabama's loss to Texas A&M. Georgia's loss to Alabama. Georgia. Wow. I don't know if this is actually true on the live spreads. Georgia is -2.5.
I'm going to go check a live spread real quick. Yep, live spread.
Well then.
For now.
Georgia -2.5. 42% of the people are on Georgia, which means the majority of the people are on the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Some people say I'm a man of the people. In this case, they're wrong. Give me the Georgia Bulldogs. I think this could be the game where they finally exercise those demons against Alabama.
Since it does not matter in the year-end total whatsoever, I am also on Georgia.
Perfect.
If we could have been within one, like if I would have picked that Florida game, I did say I would pick the Florida Gators anyway, but I did forget to pick that game. If I would have picked it and done some crazy things, we could have been within one and ended in a year-long tie.
Which would have been very
instead
fitting.
Of a regular season tie.
It would have been very fitting.
I would have to pick Alabama. I'm picking Georgia since it doesn't matter, and that's just where I'm at with that. I do think that, like, if the Georgia team that showed up against Michigan shows up against Alabama on the 10th, then I don't see Alabama being able to stop that. It's going to be close, I think, no matter what. We're not going to see a repeat of what we saw in the SEC Championship. And what's one of your favorite phrases about playing the same team twice?
It's hard to beat that same team twice.
It really is.
Especially when you have a team like the Georgia Bulldogs that one of the best defenses I have seen in my life. One of the best college defenses I've seen in my life. Honestly,
the best anybody has ever seen.
Probably the best college defense I have seen in my life. And I did see the Miami defense in the early 2000s.
Right.
I was young, but I have seen it.
Such an incredible.
Like, I just think this Georgia defense is even better. Now, did you happen to pick the tiebreaker, just out of curiosity? Because I did throw that in there. For how many points will be scored and how many total points will be scored?
No.
Okay. I went with the under. The over-under is set at like 52.
Oh, is that the tiebreaker?
Is total points scored. I'm going with 47.
I mean, I guess it doesn't, or does it? I mean, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
But
I was just curious if what...
Because you would win regardless, unless we want to factor that in. But
that wouldn't really work.
I mean, so
I was just curious if you would even look at it.
Do I pick Alabama now and then pick the tiebreaker for a hypothetical tie?
No,
Do I do that?
because that's too much
No,
work.
I can't. What's the total set at?
52.
Hmm.
I think I went with 47. I think it's gonna be lower than 52. It honestly could be lower than 47.
52. I am going to. Can I go push?
Since it's 52 even, no, could technically.
Damn. Guess for shots and goggles, I'll go over. I don't know.
Fair enough.
All right.
Let's move on to the NFL. NFL picks real quick. Oh,
I had closed ESPN entirely. I didn't even know that was a thing.
yeah, I saw it just because I scrolled all the way down a little too far on accident. NFL picks, I'm 139, 117. Jordan is 137 and 119.
Neither one of us had great weeks. I believe we went 8-8 both
Yeah.
sides.
Yeah, I know I went 8-8.
Yeah, we did. There's no room any one of us gained or lost from any of this. So
Weird week.
interesting.
Final
It-
week of
it
the
was-
regular season.
A shitty week, and it is indeed the first ever Week 18, the final week of the regular season, and we kick it off on Saturday, 4:30. Chiefs against Broncos. Chiefs are minus 10.5.
Give me the Kansas City Chiefs. This game means a little too much. Give me the Chiefs.
I would imagine the Chiefs stars are playing. The Broncos are not good. 10.5 is kind of a shit number, but I will go with the Chiefs as well. Saturday at 8:15, the Dallas Cowboys against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are also playoff bound, and the
Yes.
Eagles are getting 7.5. 61% of the people are on Philly.
So, I'm going. Even though this is only 7.5, I could see this being in like backdoor cover range, just because Dallas has been kind of goofy at points. So give me Philadelphia. I can see Philly losing or win. I can see Philly covering. I don't think they're gonna win. I'm gonna say that right now.
I don't know if Philly's gonna win or not.
I could see Philly
really-
covering because of like a missed extra point.
Goodness gracious. Give me Philly either way.
Yeah, give me Philly.
Both teams are inconsistent. That whole division just sucks.
It's not good.
Dallas had a great year and everything, but blah blah blah. They are way too inconsistent. Give me Philly anyway. Moving on to the Sunday slate, the Chicago Bears against the Minnesota Vikings. Ineptitude in the NFC North. Vikings minus 2.5, and 80% of the people are on the Minnesota Vikings. But Kirk Cousins likely ain't gonna be in this game. I haven't heard anything too specific, but I don't believe he is.
I've been going with the Bears the past couple weeks, and they've been paying off. This week, I'm not. Give me the Vikings. I don't think the Bears. I mean, neither team wants to win this game.
I mean, it doesn't matter for either one of them.
Like, winning this game hurts both of these teams.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the Vikings.
I am going with the Chicago Bears in this one. The Vikings without Kirk Cousins could very well stink.
That's yeah.
I mean, they do stink, let's be honest. The Bears finished the season off strong. Give me the Bears.
Fair.
Bengals and Browns. Browns -2.5. Wait. The people. The people. Nice amount of people. 69% are on the Bengals.
Give me the people here. Give me the Bengals.
I mean, the Browns. I mean, we're back to that. We're back to that place where I'm picking against the Browns every chance.
The Browns. So oddly enough, the Browns started this game. The live spread is flipped. The Browns started this game as a favorite, because it was announced Sunday that Joe Burrow was not going to play this game. Or actually, it may have been announced Monday morning. It was announced either late Sunday or early Monday that Joe Burrow wasn't going to play this game. And so the Browns opened as a favorite. On Wednesday or something, it was announced that Baker Mayfield was not going to play this game. And then... Excuse me. Kind of tired here. Go on. It was announced that Baker Mayfield was not going to play this game. And now the Bengals are back to a 2-point favorite. Give me the Bengals and the people.
Yeah, I'm on the Bengals as well. This spread is only this low on CBS, where we make our picks. But under the assumption that Aaron Rodgers was not going to play this game, this is Green Bay, the Packers, versus Detroit, the Lions.
Also, yep.
Aaron Rodgers is playing this game.
What? Is he really?
What I heard. Let me do a quick bit of Googling here. Because I'm why is I mean I know why, but I Googled Aaron Rodgers and the first suggestion that popped up was Horsty Wormer.
Oh, Jesus H.
God damn it. Okay, I can't see anything. Yes, ESPN. Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers to play in regular season finale versus Detroit Lions. I had to scroll through a lot of nonsense about a Boomer Esiason text message that Aaron Rodgers would sit out of the Super Bowl to protest the NFL should the Packers get there. But
yeah,
yes,
I don't see that happening.
I can't either, because that's just off the wall insane. Aaron Rodgers is playing, and I believe the live spread on this is... Wait. Okay, so it's... I don't know why the live spread hasn't changed, because the live spread is Detroit +2.
It went
It opened...
down.
It opened at like 11.
Jesus.
Packers Lions.
Give me
Who
the
you got?
Packers.
If this was at 11, I might take the Lions. I can't take the Lions if Aaron Rodgers is playing. Whether Jared Goff plays or not, give me the Packers. Colts and... Oh, what a big spread. Colts and Jags. Oh, boy. Wow.
This game
And
does partially... No, say the spread.
It's 15.5. Jags +15.5. Goodness gracious.
So, if you have $17.70 and you're in the Jacksonville area, this game's worth it. Just to go see Jonathan Taylor be good at football. See
And
Jonathan Taylor be a dude.
I said I'd save it for the picks. Jags fans are dressing up as clowns with mustaches to protest Shad Khan keeping their current general manager.
That's amazing.
Give me the Colts regardless,
Give me the
goddamn.
Colts and Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor might score 3 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor might cover this spread by himself.
Meaningful
Jags suck.
games. Steelers and Ravens. Ravens are -4.5, but 53% of the people are on the Steelers.
This game is meaningful for both teams, which is scary if you're a Baltimore fan because Lamar Jackson's not playing.
Mm.
So, in other words, give me the Steelers.
Give me the Steelers. Ben might not make the playoffs regardless, but
He's not going to let the team get eliminated, I think.
he's gonna do everything he can, I think, to have this go as well as it can. I mean, it's out of their hands really, but give me Pittsburgh.
Agreed.
The Who Cares special. Good team, Tennessee Titans. Bad team, Houston Texans. Texans getting 10.5.
If you have $16 and you're in the Houston area, save your money. This game's going to be bad. If Derrick Henry was playing in this game, it would be worth the $16.
Prices would probably be higher.
Yeah. $16, by the way, I believe is the lowest starting ticket price we've seen all year.
What was the Jags ticket price?
$17.70, which might be the
Alright.
second lowest we've seen all year
Probably.
in a NFL game. Give me the Titans.
Titans, easy.
Titans all the way.
Texans. I mean, Texans have done some weird things at times. Not this week. Football team and the Giants. Giants are getting 6.5, and 72% of the people are on a football team.
This game is meaningless.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor Heineke and the Washington football team by 800.
I can't pick the Giants.
Maybe not 800, but I can't pick the Giants.
Can't. I mean,
Oh, hey,
I don't know if I picked the
very
Giants
important
for
note.
long.
Mike Glennon is out with a wrist injury.
Mike Glennon finished with -10 passing yards last week.
So yeah, who's gonna be the fucking Giants quarterback this week?
He passed for yards, but had them all taken away because of sacks.
Who's gonna be the Giants quarterback this week?
Me? I don't know.
Isn't Daniel Jones on the IR?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, who's their backup? Who? Oh my god, I'm having a good time. Oh my god, yes,
No. What?
Jake Fromm.
Come on.
I wish I was kidding.
Football team by a million.
Yep.
Panthers and Bucks.
Jake Fromm with a QBR, by the way, of 6.2.
Christ alive. Good God.
Give me football team by a million also.
I don't know what the deal is with this spread. I would assume maybe Tom Brady's not playing, something like that. Bucks and Panthers. Bucks -7.5.
There's something to note here. The people.
Wait, actually, yes, I do believe this is the biggest spread on the people we've seen all year.
Yeah.
89% of the people are on the Bucks.
Yeah. Meaning, and CBS did get their math right. Meaning, only 11% are on Carolina.
there's what reason? Those 11% have to be Carolina fans. They have to be.
Maybe they're scared by the half point. You know who's scared? Who isn't scared by the half point?
Both of us, because I'm picking Tampa Bay.
I was too. So yeah, both of us.
I mean, what are we supposed to do? Like,
if Christian McCaffrey was playing in this game, maybe I would want to take.
No. I would take Tampa Bay minus 13.5.
If Christian McCaffrey was playing in this game, I would not take him at 13.5.
I would.
Because I feel like that would just be like some form of a backdoor cover where Christian McCaffrey would do some fucking miracle play.
That's why I said 13.5. You're safe from the 2 touchdown. Like, if they win by 2 touchdowns, you're good.
Fair.
If 14.5, that's where I'm like, I don't know.
Fair enough. But 7.5, yeah, give me Tampa Bay.
What am I supposed to do?
What am I supposed to do with
no matter who's playing? Give me the Bucks.
With I don't even know who's playing at quarterback for the Carolina Panthers this week.
Maybe Cam, maybe not. I don't know.
Billy Joe Cletus Bob.
Oh, damn it. Moving on. Patriots and Dolphins. Patriots are only minus 6.5 here.
Give me Matthew Judon.
And the people are, well, you already made your pick, but the people are easily wondering why this spread is what it is, because 67% of the people are on the Patriots, and I am as well.
So am I. Why
I mean,
this?
we're picking like the same teams, but like it's the last week of the season with some funny business going on, so it is what it is.
I didn't even give you a chance. Like, I just saw this. I was like, I saw New England, Miami. I didn't even look at the spread. I was like, yep, I know who I want.
After what the Dolphins did last week, fucking hell. Goddamn. New Orleans Saints and Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are getting 4.5 in a game that is meaningful for the Saints. Barely, but it is.
They got a chance.
They have to win.
Yes. Because this game is meaningful for the Saints, I am going to pick the Saints. I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to. I just don't see a reason. Like, I could be wrong. Kyle Pitts is questionable right now. Kyle Pitts is going to be a dude. Let's be honest. He is more than likely going to be a dude. So I don't think he's going to play.
Probably not.
For Atlanta. Atlanta just has nothing to gain in this game.
They really don't.
Like, you win this game, you finish 8-9, and whoop-de-doo, you possibly worsen your draft pick a little bit more. Oh, but we kept the Saints out of the playoffs. No one's going to care.
The Saints might keep themselves out of the playoffs even if they win.
Yeah. Give me the Saints. The Saints, at least, this is at least meaningful for the Saints.
Saints, easy. Jets and Bills. And what I do believe is the largest spread we've seen all year.
We've seen a lot.
Jets.
We've been saying that a lot this show, this pick segment.
I know, but like it just keeps getting worse. Jets are getting 16.5.
Live spread. Jets are getting 17.
Yep, I see that.
I have zero reason to pick the Jets.
Don't pick the Jets.
I have zero reason to pick the Jets. Zero.
But you're going to pick the Jets.
No.
Okay.
No. I literally, I have so few reasons to pick the Jets that I can't even pick them because I have no reasons to pick the Jets.
Fair.
I can't even, come up with some scenario in my head of picking the Jets. Like some made up scenario to pick the Jets. I can't. I just can't. Especially this is a home game for Buffalo. Give me the fucking Buffalo Bills. This game is slightly meaningful for them.
Fair enough. That being said, I'm taking the goddamn Jets.
Oh no.
It's too many points, man. I mean, you can't hang those in front of my face and expect me not to take them, especially when I need to make up some ground.
That's
You're
fair,
gonna
but
you're gonna give me all those points. Hell,
I mean, it's
Buffalo by 15. Let's hope.
That's fair, but like the Jets have also lost by more than that spread before
I know
several
but
times
I
this year.
I gotta do something. It's just that spread's huge. Come on now. NFC West. Meaningful game for the 49ers in a way. They got to win. The Rams don't really need to win. They probably will.
They would
Rams
like to
minus
win.
4.5.
Rams win, they clinch the division and 2 seed question mark, I think.
I do believe 2 seed, yes, because Green Bay's 13-3, Rams are 12-4.
Okay. And Green Bay beat the Rams.
They did.
Give me the Rams here. I want to take San Francisco.
Yeah.
I do. But I just think, especially a home game for the Rams, this game's just going to be too hard, I think, for the
And unlike
49ers.
Unlike the other LA team, this is actually a home game for the Rams because LA actually cares about the Rams, unlike the Chargers. So
That's true.
Yeah, Rams 4.5's not enough. Give me LA. No Monday Night Football this week. So our second to last game is still in the 4 o'clock slate. Also in the NFC West, Seahawks and Cardinals. Cardinals are minus 6.5.
Cardinals are frauds. They're going to win this game. But I think Seattle covers. Give me the Seahawks.
What? They're gonna 6.5?
I think Seattle covers.
All right, I'll take it. Give me Arizona. You asked for this. And then Sunday Night Football, Chargers and Raiders, big game. Both teams can theoretically make the playoffs. Not likely, but it's possible. Both teams 9-7, and that's notable because the Raiders are getting 2.5, and 64% of the people are on the Chargers.
I don't know what to do with either of these. I trust the Chargers to be less stupid.
As do I.
So give me the Chargers.
I think the Chargers are the better football team, and you're not even going to give me a field goal, so give me LA. That's easy for me. And those, for the final time, with both the NFL and college, are the picks.
Not the final time for the NFL.
I said with both the NFL and college.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes. Very much so.
I don't know if that Discord might have broken for a second. The NFL and college, the full picks.
That is true. And it is time to move on to Champ and Chump of the Week. Jordan, who is your champ of...
I'm actually interested to hear yours first.
Oh, God. Oh, God. So I had a couple of routes I could have went with this. I could have went with the Cincinnati Bengals. And honestly, I probably would have.
That's a fair champ of the week. That like I said last week, that was a big game for them to prove that they were actually good, and they proved it.
More often than not, in most cases, I probably would have went with the Bengals. But I'm not going with the Bengals.
I think that was apparent.
Yes. I'm going to the Rose Bowl.
Ooh.
Saturday. New Year's Day. Yes. I am going with 2 champs of the week because I just can't pick one of the 2 of them. I have to pick both of them. I
All right.
realistically could even pick a third, but I'm going to go with 2. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to throw the third in there just because the third was the guy throwing the fucking ball to them.
Okay.
I'm going with Jackson Smith and Jigba and Marvin Harrison Jr. as my primary champs of the week. CJ Stroud, the man who threw the ball to them, as my third. I just both Jackson Smith and Jigba and Marvin Harrison Jr. had massive shoes to fill. And Chris Olave.
Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave are going to be first round picks, I would imagine.
Yeah. Massive shoes to fill. This was their first game, the first game that both Marvin Harrison Jr. and Jackson Smith and Jigba were featured as the primary receivers.
Yep.
CJ Stroud has said he loves throwing the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr. because he is phenomenal at running routes. Shocker, because he's Marvin Harrison's kid.
Right.
The guy's been around the highest level of football since he was born. But both of them just... they proved how phenomenal of a coach a receivers coach Brian Hartline is, and both of them proved that they're for real. And then CJ Stroud proved me wrong, and he threw a damn good ball several times on Saturday for the Rose Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Who is your champ of the week?
My champ of the week is Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
For making what could have been a terrible situation with the railing falling down and fans raining on top of him into a positive. For after the game, this happens, and he's taken time to stop and take selfies with Eagles fans because they were all Eagles fans.
Making sure they were okay. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he literally helped dudes up. Like, it's great. We've been over this topic like in 3 different segments, so my feelings on that are out there.
I'll even say I will go out and say it myself. I don't know if I would have done that.
I don't know. That's a sketchy situation, man. That's some wild stuff.
That will, yeah. I don't know if I would have done something like that.
Jalen Hurts, phenomenal.
Yeah,
great dude. Put $1 million on the Lions, but great dude.
Props to him. Like I said, that's a scenario I've said it already twice. If I were if that scenario happened to me, I'd probably just be like, "Get me the fuck out of here." Something stupid.
For real.
Like something like, and I've had some experiences at both the high school and college level leaving stadiums where some goofy stuff has happened. Nothing to that extent.
Nothing like that, yeah.
But every once in a while in post game, the fans are excited, and something kind of just goofy happens. And like every time something weird happened to me, it's just like, get me the fuck out of here before something. Because it's just, you can tell as a player when, especially when you like in post game after a win, the fans are super excited. You could just tell when something stupid might happen. And
I don't think Jalen Hurts had any idea that was happening.
No, I don't think he was. And like I said, something like that, if that happened where those fans were like, if I was in that Jalen Hurts scenario, I probably would just been like, sorry guys. Here.
Like, get me out of here.
I would have been like, sorry guys, here, I'll do you a favor. Find a team representative and then I'll hook you up after.
Right.
But right at this particular second in time, get me out. That would have probably been the most I would have done. But,
right.
Great on him.
Chump of the week.
Oh boy, I feel like we could have the same chump of the week.
I think we might.
Mine is the Washington football team. Is that also yours?
It is, but honorable mention Antonio Brown.
Okay, fair. So we all know why your honorable mention would be Antonio Brown.
Right.
I'm kind of surprised
been
you
over
didn't go Brock Lesnar, by the way, for a champ of the week.
I don't like bringing wrestling stuff into something like that. Given that it's, I would say it's all predetermined. But it really wasn't in that scenario with Brock Lesnar winning the WWE Championship. Seth Rollins was going to win it.
Yeah.
The mixed reports. Big E was either going to retain or Seth Rollins was going to win. Yeah, Brock. That was wild. That's so wild to me. Incredible. Like, I didn't expect him to win whatsoever, even though I was just, at the same time, I was like, how is he's getting thrown in this match? Are you going to have him lose? But
right.
It still caught me off guard. That was insane.
I watched it. It was great.
That day one pay-per-view needed that. It was really lackluster until that point, and it literally had my hands on my head. I was like, what? Huh?
So there were, I will say, there are two things I watched the day one pay-per-view for. Two things. Edge and Miz, just because I do like Edge. I've liked Edge.
And Beth Phoenix is the Glamazon, and she's great.
I liked Edge ever since, like, I first started watching WWE when I was very young.
Edge's been around a long time.
I liked it. I more or less started watching WWE again because of Edge.
I mean, when I first got back into wrestling was just months before Edge returned at the Royal Rumble in 2020. And I feel like he's had a very similar impact on me. Like, I watch every week now because of that moment. Literally months before. Like, November of 2019, December was right when I got back into it. And he returned just shortly after that in January at the Royal Rumble in 2020. So
I've stopped watching WWE for a long time, and then I started rewatching again because of Edge, essentially.
Right.
A little after, like, it was in 2020. It was a little after the Royal Rumble. But yeah.
His return in 2020 is still legendary. It's still incredible. Everybody in that crowd just knew what they were witnessing and blew the goddamn roof off the place. It's great.
Yeah. Anyway, my chump of the week. So I was thinking about it for a second, and I was like, I had to do some math. I was like, but no, that is also good. That is fair assessment on not having Brock as champ of the week. My chump of the week.
Don't get me wrong. Love some Brock.
I do too.
Love me, especially this new baby face Brock that gets to talk for himself. It's great. Well, I mean, he got to talk to him for himself. He might get to talk for himself a little bit, but he's back with Paul Heyman now.
So, do you think they're turning? Please, we'll talk about this part after the show, just because it's where I want to get out of here.
Alrighty. Yeah, we'll little wrestling talk after the show.
My chump of the week, as I said, is the Washington football team for obvious reasons.
For everything. But the latest thing, because we can talk about this now because it's both of ours. The Ryan Kerrigan stuff this last week.
Yeah.
Their stadium being an absolute shithole.
Not going with the fan favorite for new name of Red Wolves, just because it'll be too hard to make it our own. Like,
to be honest, I hate that name, but I like understand the fans' frustration of saying, "Hey, we want this. Oh, cool, you're not gonna get it."
Yeah.
That's some Vince McMahon stuff.
Wrapping it back to WWE.
Exactly. Hey, we want Daniel Bryan as champion. Cool, you ain't getting him.
Let's move to one for the road. We could get out of here. Sound good to you?
I don't even know if I have a one for the road. to be honest.
Mine is a massive cop-out. Massive.
Okay.
Between Saturday, Sunday, Monday, just watch some football. Like, it's a cop-out. We have some meaningful NFL games on Saturday and Sunday. We have the last college game of the year, which, yes, it's probably going to be the least watched college game this entire season.
Fun fact, I did see very few people calling Michigan America's team because they were involved in 4 of the top 6 college football games in terms of viewers all season long. No. Do not put us in that category with the Dallas Cowboys. Do not brand us America's team, even regardless of everything else. Do not. Please.
I got no comment on that part. I mean, it helps that they're put in the prime slot.
It's the time frame. It's the opponents. I get that.
Yeah.
That's why I one of the many reasons as to why I want no part of the whole America's team thing.
Yeah.
And we're not. And we are, other than the fact that we are not.
Yeah.
We're just not.
Like, yes, the national championship game, yeah, it's going to be probably one of the least watched. It might even be less watched than both of the college football playoff games, which these were 2 of the least watched college football playoff games.
I would imagine that it would be. I'll still watch it, but
yeah, I'll still watch it.
That's just because it's the last college game of the year.
Like, I'll still watch parts of it, but just watch. There's some good football on this weekend. Find a good football game. Watch a good football game. That's.
I guess my one for the road is going to be sort of similar, but also different. Watch some hockey while we have it, man.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, this season has just been COVID riddled all throughout, and who knows what the future is going to hold for that. Hockey's phenomenal. Just watch some hockey games. That's where I'm at.
That's fair. Also, I do want to throw this while you brought up hockey. The score bug for hockey on TNT is not very good.
The score bug for hockey on TNT is not good.
Oh, so you've seen it?
Yes.
Okay.
The entire broadcast for NHL and ESPN is not good.
Score bug is.
I won't say the entire one. The score bug is fine. Some of the broadcasters are fine. Then in comes what's her name? Leah Pritchett?
I think so, yeah.
Holy fuck is she? She has no clue what she's calling. And it sucks. It just sucks. I'm fairly certain at one point one of the rare Red Wings nationally televised games, she called one of our players Thomas Tatar. Thomas Tatar hasn't been a Red Wing for 3 or 4 years.
Let's say it's been a couple of years. Oops.
She's got no clue. And I don't look, I get that it comes off as like, another woman in broadcasting. There's another man complaining about that. I get it. But she's just not good at her job. She has no clue what she's watching. No.
Alrighty. Oh. That's the
terrible
show.
Way to end the show, but she's not good. Plenty of women in broadcasting that do a phenomenal job. She is not one of them.
No. Like, there are better women that they could have found to do hockey, but
like, Beth Mowins is annoying. She at least knows what's going on.
Yeah.
God.
There are other women they could have found to do hockey.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's get out here. So, with that being said, everybody, that's episode 19.
It is
Longer
episode. Milestone episode coming up next week.
Yeah.
Episode 20, the first ever episode 20. We've never made it this far.
No, we have not. This episode went a little longer because we had a lot to cover.
A ton. I mean, plenty of ramble-worthy topics. Antonio Brown, Michigan's bowl game, Ohio State's bowl game, along with everything else.
Yeah.
That we usually cover. So
yeah. I have a feeling these episodes are gonna start getting a little shorter again. A lot shorter.
For sure.
Like,
I can't think of anything that's gonna be that notable. Unless someone pulls an Antonio Brown next week.
Yeah.
I can't imagine these shows running this long.
Yeah, we're sitting at not quite
For a
4
while.
hours here. So it's going to be a while again before these shows get long. But with that being said,
Fuck Dan Snyder.
I'm about to ask if you had any parting words, and those are your parting words.
Fuck Dan Snyder. I guess go blue still, even though there's no Michigan games.
Got basketball.
Michigan basketball was sacrificed so Michigan football could thrive. That's all I gotta
Fair
say
enough.
about that. Michigan basketball is
Not doing so
little
hot
bit of-
right now.
little bit of a mess right now. We did lose to Rutgers the other day.
Ohio State lost to Indiana yesterday, or all on Thursday.
Michigan lost to Rutgers. I don't know if we win that game if we're healthy, but we had I don't know if it was 10, but we had plenty of people on our roster that were out because of, I believe, COVID.
Oh,
So
Solid.
we had Hunter Dickinson and then a whole bunch of guys that usually wouldn't see the floor.
solid.
Rough time. But go blue always.
So, with that being said, then, thank you for making us part of your evening, however you may be watching and or listening, wherever you may be watching and or listening from. Until Wednesday, and I'm going to make sure my schedule is cleared so we can do this show on Wednesday and get it back on Wednesday nights. That way we can get backdoor cover in a couple more episodes at least
Right.
of sole backdoor cover. Until Wednesday, peace out. Stay classy. See ya.